That's weird. Oh, there it is. And I think we're live, are we? Aren't we?
See the ad pop up.
There we go. Waiting for confirmation.
Yeah. Sad thing is, on my end, it's one of those ads where it's like two playing at the same time and you can't skip the damn ones. Okay, it's on now.
Really? I always choose the ads you can actually skip after a while.
It's pretty random on my end. It's like, oh, you know, one plays or it's two plays. Like, sometimes you have the option and other times you don't.
Sorry making you sit through ads. I'm greedy.
But yeah, you seem to be on.
There you go. So yeah, welcome back everyone to our regular Dissected. And boy, we're getting a lot of Sonic stuff this week, are we? Rescue Rangers specials. But yeah, I guess we'll just quickly introduce everyone again. Luke the Fox, our big warrior. You there?
Hello there.
Smooth sounding there.
Well, I was trying to impersonate Obi-Wan Kenobi because I was watching the series last night.
Oh yeah, the 2 episodes got released, right?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good follow-up to Revenge of the Sith.
Did I hear a scary voice? Was that Captain?
Yeah. Was that Davros?
General Kenobi.
His best attempt at General Grievous.
He sounds a bit more Russian. General Kenobi.
There you go.
Yeah. Or General Wheezy, yeah.
That's scary to hear that voice out of nowhere. But yeah, now I don't know what Luke's thoughts were on Obi-Wan.
Please don't discuss that because I haven't seen the episodes yet.
There we go. Then we'll don't.
Oh, what happens in it is, I don't know because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. The only Star Wars thing I've been doing these days is playing Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Oh, nice. What episode are you up to?
Let's see. I think I just completed episode 5, so I'm moving up to episode 6 now.
Alright, I just finished all the episodes and now I'm going back through them to collect all the stuff I've missed.
Are there secret levels too?
Pardon?
Are there secret levels as well?
Not that I know of. It's just the levels, and you also got an open world where you get to explore all the planets in the Star Wars movies.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really big.
Pretty cool.
But they only take levels from Lego Star Wars 1 and 2, not from episode 3, right? Because that was based on a TV show, I think.
Oh, not based on Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's just the prequel, original trilogy, and sequel eras.
But are they brand new levels or just recycles of the original Lego?
They're totally brand new levels. They're brand new, but they kind of took inspiration from Lego Star Wars 1 and 2. So you might see some little throwbacks here and there.
All right. That's a shame because I really love the level design of the early Lego games. The later Lego games became too puzzling for me. But, maybe I'll try it one day. I do love the Lego games, so... but I haven't had a chance for this one yet. I still have to finish Psychonauts 2. But, we're getting a little bit off topic here.
Yes.
Still introducing everyone. Melting Man, you're here.
Yeah, just the usual, the only guy that's more of a comic expert. Or at least the American Sonic comic expert, yeah.
So you're really doubly out of place here. Then leave. Get out of here. We don't need you.
Get out of here!
Never!
Poor Melting Man. For making him feel welcome as usual. And of course, our master of voices, Captain Fury.
Greetings, friends.
There you go. The day can't start without that friendly greeting. Yeah, do we want to talk about Rescue Rangers or that new Sonic Movie 2 special we got? Anyone has any thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Well,
Or shall we just save that for the end of the video?
no, we can do it now. Yeah.
yeah, let's do it now. So the Rescue Rangers movie, as I'm sure everyone is aware, came out on Disney Plus, and it's sure something.
Yeah, something, all right.
It is definitely a movie, and
Not a Rescue Rangers movie. It is a movie with Rescue Rangers in them, but that's as far as I get.
Yeah, it's more of a
Did you
Chip and
introduce
Dale.
Ewan?
Oh,
What was that, Luke? Sorry.
Did we not introduce Ewan?
yeah, we forgot about that.
oh yeah,
Oh my.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
very, very mean to forget about little old me.
There you go. Well, introduce yourself, Mr. Ewan. Who are you?
I'm just someone who somehow ended up here.
That's a good way to describe it. Poor Ewan.
Hey, we're trying to look for the bathroom and you somehow end up here.
Exactly.
Okay, to make up for my rudeness, you get to introduce Rescue Rangers the movie.
What, me?
That sounds more like a punishment.
Why do I have to be introducing the Chip and Dale movie? Consider the fact I haven't seen it yet.
Same here.
Outside of the Sonic clips.
Of course, yeah. I don't know, do we want to go for spoilers, or shall we keep it safe? Does anyone really care? I mean, it's supposed to
I don't think anyone cares about spoilers.
Nah.
collection of references, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, the movie's better than I expected. I was only cringing 60% of the time, so I was expecting worse. Yeah, Captain, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's if you're watching it just to see like references to things you know, it's pretty good. You can just sit there, ignore the plot, and be like, "Hey, look at that! It's Indiana Jones." And that's what I did. I was just there to see what all they could cram in, and was pretty impressed with what all they could cram in.
They crammed in a
Including
lot, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Including a lot of non-Disney stuff.
Yeah, so they're really going for Roger Rabbit. Although Looney Tunes themselves never showed up, so that's the one difference with Roger Rabbit. They never got Warner Brothers to agree on anything.
Yeah, but it's funny because we know for a fact now that if this movie had come out like a year later, we would have seen Donkey Kong, because there's this gag right at the end where the bad CGI dwarf voiced by Seth Rogen starts getting laughed at by other characters voiced by Seth Rogen, which included Pumbaa from the Lion King remake, Mantis from Kung Fu Panda, and Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens. So, yeah, just a year later, Donkey Kong would have been in there too.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Well, the movie loves fourth wall jokes, and like I said before, there's some fourth wall jokes I like when they bring in the logic into the movie itself, and there's ones I hate when I just talk about it. There's one joke I really loved, and that's they set it up early where they have a shot from the original Rescue Rangers where the Chip and Dale get hurt, and then the little cartoon birds are flying over their heads, which distracts Fat Cat chasing them. And then at the end of the movie, they try to recreate that gag, but then we just cut to the bird still laying in bed and the alarm going off. Like, the Chip and Dale were with retirement. Oh, I guess I have to help them now. That made me laugh. It was like the only time a fourth wall joke kind of worked for me, because they actually incorporated cartoon logic in the movie. But other than that, they're so explicitly explaining the joke and being so straightforward to it. It really makes me cringe all the time. I especially remember one time that Gadget talks, and she literally says something like, "Yeah, the character in real life is exactly the same as the character I play on the show." It's like, are you referring to yourself as a character in real life? It's like that's such the writer is talking directly to the audience moment rather than the character actually speaks. Stuff like that just makes me cringe. Oh well.
Speaking of Gadget, I remember I was concerned when I saw the trailers, and I'm like, oh wow, after the time skip, you never see Gadget or Zipper anywhere. So I wonder what happened to them. And I could not have anticipated that they got married. That was definitely the weirdest part of the movie. Was Gadget, Zipper, and their 47 children.
Oh, creepy hybrids, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say that they fucked? I mean, they're cartoons, so they could have just brought out the old, pen and ink and made them up with paint and everything.
That is fair.
Or the stuck bird that brought them.
Oh, yeah, the stork.
The stork, that's the one. Oh, well. But yeah. Hey, do you notice that behind Ugly Sonic, there's a picture that makes Ugly Sonic almost look like Shadow? I wonder if that's a deliberate reference or just an accidental bonus.
Ugly Shadow.
Well,
Oh god, imagine if Ugly Sonic did become the design of the movies. We would get Ugly Shadow eventually.
And Ugly Tails and Ugly Knuckles and Ugly Amy. Yeah.
Oh god, no.
Ugly Rouge.
Oh god.
Yeah, Ugly Rouge, yeah. Or Ugly
Nightmare fuel
Victor.
for everyone.
And then just photorealistic Vector.
Did you say something, Ewan?
I'm just saying, nightmare fuel for everyone.
There you go. Nightmare fuel for everyone, indeed. Yeah.
Just actual crocodile Vector.
That'd be something, all right. Yeah. But yeah, I believe Sonic shockingly had a bigger part because at one point they said like, "Oh, we need some help," so you expect them to go to Gadget, except they for some reason go to Ugly Sonic for help. But it's only just to set up a joke, said that he suddenly comes out of nowhere at the end to save everyone. So kind of funny. That's like the second time Sonic saves everyone at the end of a crossover after Smash Bros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was so weird. 'Cause I remember like people who saw the film like early when it got like an early release in Orlando, and people were going out like, "Oh, no, Ugly Sonic's in the film," and it was like, "What? No, they're pulling my leg." So then I saw the film, I was like, "Oh, he's in the film. Okay."
Yeah,
That was
and
a
a
surprise.
sizable part too. Except unfortunately for you, My Little Pony's barely in it. It's only the cameo we saw in the trailer,
Yeah.
pretty much the entire role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But at
they
least
didn't even talk, and I was upset about that.
Ah.
Yeah, that was a shame. At least the good thing is that the first time we saw them in a trailer, they were like these weird like CGI models. So that must have been from like an early cut of the film, because in the final film, we actually see them designed from how they looked like in the My Little Pony movie from 2017, and then later used again in the Rainbow Road Trip special. So that was a surprise. I was kind of expecting them to use like their in-show designs, but no, they go with the movie designs. So that's cool. I like the movie designs.
So what upset me is that this poster lied to us, like the main poster, because not only does the 2D animation never look as good as here, I mean there barely is any 2D animation, the 2D characters are 3D, but even Dale is like wearing his Indiana Jones outfit, which in the actual movie only does for like 10 seconds, only as a quick gag, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
Poster
the weird
lied
thing
to
with
me.
this anime. Well, that's the weird thing with this animation in this movie. Like, it's supposed to, traditional animation, CGI, da-da-da-da-da. Like, the weird thing is, like, if it's, like, very minor characters or background characters, like, yeah, it's look traditional 2D and whatnot. But if it's, like, one of the main characters, like, Chip or middle-aged Peter Pan, then it just looks off. Like, if it's just a still image of them, it looks fine, but when they start moving, then you can clearly tell that it's just a CGI model, just cel-shaded to try and look 2D.
You just miss those details. I mean, again, look at Dale with the fluff on his chest. Like, the 3D model doesn't have anything resembling that. So, well, it does make him look cool, so yeah. It's kind of missing those details. It's a shame. Oh well, I guess they had the budget to take care of. But yeah, some characters were properly 2D animated, like Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. And a couple others, I think. Only when they have a cameo, they're properly animated.
Yeah, and then, and He-Man and Skeletor also had a cameo, which, surprisingly, I've heard they actually got the original voice actor to come back to voice those.
Was that for the 80s version?
Yeah, the original 80s version, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, the movie's kind of weird how it goes like that. Like, on one end, it tries to imply that, like, the characters characters can be multiple incarnations of themselves, which is why Dale can turn himself into a CGI character, which implies that all incarnations of the characters are always the same character, just having surgery done on them. Yet at the same time, you do have like different versions, like Ugly Sonic or the 80s He-Man again. So that does imply that they should have duplicates of themselves somewhere. And also I'm kind of confused how aging works, because on one hand, I mean, I already don't like the idea of characters aging, like cartoon characters. They're supposed to be timeless, but apparently Peter Pan and Chip and Dale did age. But then later Peter Pan meets one of the Lost World boys, and they're still kids. So, like, why are they still kids and Peter Pan has gotten old?
He also did that in the Christopher Robin movie where Pooh and all his friends are, like, really old.
Oh, yeah, the live-action when
true,
Christopher grows up, yeah.
That's different, because it's more like literal plushes in Robin's head. Here they're supposed to be like actual physical cartoons, like operating on Roger Rabbit logic.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you have a point. Yeah, they got older there, and that was like a big plot point.
But yeah, now that you mention it, Roger, it's actually kind of especially ironic that Peter Pan grew old and the Lost Boy didn't, because Peter Pan is like a character that doesn't grow old, and the Lost Boys eventually do, and then Peter Pan kills them because Peter Pan is a really messed up story, apparently.
Yeah, I've heard the original Peter Pan story is really messed up, yeah.
So it's ironic that Peter Pan grew old and the Lost Boy didn't.
Revenge,
But
I
also,
guess.
Yeah. Like the
But
only thing I
also,
can.
Go ahead.
you go ahead, Milton Man.
Okay, so like the whole bit with middle-aged Peter Pan, like the only thing I could think of why he's like the only toon that can age, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe his father was an animated character and his mother was a live-action character. That's the best I could come up with.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Some people have noticed that Peter Pan's story in this movie is a little too similar to the actual story of the actor who played Peter Pan in the Disney movie.
Yeah.
A little too close to home there, yeah.
That might have been inspiration, and if so, that was kind of a dick move on the writer's part. Because that was not something you should be making a joke out of. If it's just coincidental, then I think it's just a joke about like how child actors don't get the recognition when they grow up.
Yeah, and of course, it's the irony of Peter Pan, a boy who did never grow up being old, I guess.
Yeah, so I think that's what the joke was, and I'm just going to hope that they didn't actually do that on purpose.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, but on the plus side, at least we now know that this guy is possibly the long-lost cousin to Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
There you go.
I've actually seen an edit, like the image that's on screen. Someone actually edited that to actually look like Carl. It's like, hey, there, now we know what Carl would look like if he was in a Disney film.
Ah, perfect.
Hey, I can freaking fly!
Yeah, I'm Batman too!
But also, you literally have machines in this world where cartoons can turn themselves to different cartoons, like CGI, or... I mean, Peter Pan himself has a machine like that, so you wonder why he never used it on himself. If that's the problem, that he got too old. Like, just use the machine on yourself and fix yourself. Then again, I guess at this point he was too angry. Oh, well. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because, he says that, like, he started to grow old, and he got kicked out of Hollywood or whatever. And then he got the machine and started making bootlegs and realized that he was making more money doing the bootlegs than doing the actual movies. So I guess he has no need to use the machine on himself.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Although, why would you deliberately look as ugly as that if you do have a magic machine, it can give you a better appearance? But yeah, I guess that's... Now I'm convoluting the story too much, I suppose. Oh, well.
Yeah. Of course, near the end of the film, he ends up using the machine on himself, but that's just purely on accident when it goes haywire. So instead of being more younger or whatnot, instead it just turns him into a Beetleworks from Epic Mickey.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Was his head supposed to be a reference to Fat Cat or to Isma, I wonder?
To Fat Cat.
Oh,
yeah, the head is kind of like a combination of, well, mostly Fat Cat, but then like the little tuft and the bow, yeah, that's obviously based off of the Aristocats.
But yeah, that's actually a good point, because that monstrosity appeared in the trailer, and I assume many other people assumed that was Fat Cat being merged with several other characters. And you're like, oh look, he's got Wreck-It Ralph's arm and Peter Pan's torso. But I don't think anybody's suspected that it was going to be Peter Pan with Fat Cat's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of random. No, Fat Cat never does anything other than show up in flashbacks to the original show.
And then, he's got Wreck-It Ralph's left arm. He's got Optimus Prime's right leg.
Yeah, he's got Woody's other leg, and I think he has like a shoulder pad of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's weird. But also, there is a lot of Jim Cummings in this movie. There's Fat Cat, there's Pete, there's Darkwing Duck right at the end.
Oh yeah, the bit with Pete was just hilarious. Like, oh, here's Pete, and he's busy doing a filming of like a knockoff version of Aladdin.
as himself, because Pete's just in on the bootlegging, of course.
Of course.
Fun fact: did you know that Pete is actually the longest active cartoon character in the world?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Longer than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, he predates Mickey Mouse. Like, before Mickey and Oswald, like, Disney kind of first started with these old laugh-a-grams, like, mostly like the Alice comedies or Alice's Wonderland. Basically, it was just a series of shorts of this live-action girl in an animated world, and yeah, that's where Pete originally came from, except back then he was a bear with a peg leg instead of being more of a cat.
Yeah. So, Felix the Cat is technically older than Pete, but Felix the Cat hasn't been used in a long time, so Pete has outlived Felix the Cat.
Yeah, when was the last time? Like, Felix the Cat had that movie in the 80s, and that was pretty much it. And a video game for the NES. Poor Felix the Cat. Oh, wow. There was something else I wanted to mention of this movie. I don't remember. Oh, well. Must have not been very important. I guess we move on to the next, or does anyone else want to say something?
I have a few things to say about the film.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is definitely a film that has, like, a lot of cameos and definitely a lot of different animation styles, which I always kind of enjoy. That's kind of why I've had some interest with trying to get into The Amazing World of Gumball. It's like, oh, it's all these clash different animation styles. So here it's done the same, like, we get traditional animation, we get CGI, we get the this and that. I think there's even a... Yeah, there's Muppets there, which kind of threw me off. It's like, yeah, there's this guy who's like, he's supposed to be like like a knockoff version of the Swedish Chef, and I'm just kind of like, well, why not just use the actual Swedish Chef? I mean, Disney owns the Muppets, so they could have just used that with no problem.
Well, he works for Peter Pan, who is making knockoffs, so I guess it kind of turns around like that again.
Yeah, that's true. And then, of course, they also make fun of the whole motion capture trend that was a thing back in, like, the late 2000s or so. But, yeah. Yeah, I was definitely in it for the, just to see how many they would throw in and just what kind of shit would happen in this film. So, yeah, honestly, I really don't know what to make of this film. I guess I'd say, like, I kind of liked it, I guess. So, I don't know. I'll probably have to rewatch it a couple of times.
Yeah, you love obscure references, so it's right up your alley.
Yeah, a bit, but hey, at least they got J.K. Simmons voicing the Gumby-like police officer, so he's always good in anything.
Also, am I the only one who noticed Obelix making a random cameo appearance at the end? Although he was in dragon form, which I think he was briefly in one of the Asterix movies. Where they go?
Oh, you mean like when the knockoffs are being freed or something?
Yeah. So that was surprising, but they showed him very briefly from the top, so that's how he probably avoided copyright trouble. Oh well. Well, yeah, the thing I wanted to mention, which is, I suppose, a very nerdy point, but I was kind of annoyed that the movie kind of ignores the fact that Chip and Dale actually did have a career outside of Rescue Rangers. I mean, they were Donald Duck's antagonists in 50s cartoons, and like they're basically secondary characters to the Mickey Mouse Club, yet this movie never really addresses that at all. Like, it pretends that they only exist in Rescue Rangers, so I guess that kind of annoyed me. But that's
maybe it's a case of another ugly Sonic, where there's just another Chip and Dale out there.
Maybe the other Chip and Dale are their dads. That could have been
that'd be a very weird coincidence, because Dale moved to Chip's school, and then that's how they met.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think the writers really gave much of a thought of it, so I guess we shouldn't either. But yeah, if you love cameos and random references, then it's a decent movie.
Of course, that's... Oh, go ahead.
I'm happy they gave Roger Rabbit and Bonkers a reference, because they're really the Disney characters are known for living in cartoon land and all that.
Yeah.
Even though it's a shame they didn't get much of an appearance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Winnie the Pooh. That was the other Jim Cummings character that I remembered.
And Darkwing Duck. And yeah, Jim Cummings pretty much voices half of Disney's TV show characters.
Jim Cummings does a lot of Disney characters.
If you get him, you basically have half the cast already voiced.
I did like the Darkwing Duck cameo right at the end, because it's very in character that he's like set up his own booth and he's like hyping up his own crowd, which is ignoring him. I really like Darkwing Duck as a character, and I hated him in the DuckTales reboot, because
Yeah, that's kind of a shame because, like, I mean, when they introduced the idea that like Darkwing Duck is a TV show, and they said around the whole like, oh, the actor is kind of a has-been, and they're starting a reboot, and he doesn't like it. It's like if that was just a standalone episode, like that's fine, even if the cliffhanger ending like goes absolutely nowhere. But after that, it's like, oh, now we have actual Darkwing Ducks. Like, okay, that it just feels off. Like it just feels like this should have been its own thing rather than be tied to DuckTales.
What annoyed me the most is that they spent like multiple episodes building up to Darkwing Duck, and at the moment they're actually arrived at Darkwing Duck being Darkwing Duck, the show is over. So you never get a single episode where Darkwing Duck is actually properly Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
At the moment, gasoline and like all the elements are in place, the show's pretty much over. So you build up to nothing.
I just didn't like their take on the character because, like, so in DuckTales, like, Darkwing Duck is a fictional character played by actor Jim Starling, who was played by Jim Cummings, the original voice of Darkwing Duck. And when it's rebooted, they get the actor Drake Mallard, which is Darkwing Duck's real name, playing Darkwing Duck. And he's like a huge fan of Darkwing Duck. And so he becomes Darkwing Duck. So Drake Mallard becomes Darkwing Duck. And Jim Starling becomes Negaduck. And of course, that, as Melting Man said, that went nowhere. But, like, my biggest problem with it is that the original Darkwing Duck had a notoriously massive ego that was, like, his entire character, and it was wonderful. But, like, this one, just by nature, can't have that ego because he's just a fan of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, so the soul's kind of missing. I get your point.
Yeah.
So he's not an ego, he's just a fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
And it's so funny because, like, Jim Starling did have the ego. And the voice, because he was voiced by Jim Cummings. So I just really don't like how DuckTales handled Darkwing Duck. So I was so happy when he showed up in the Chippendales movie. It was just classic Darkwing Duck, voiced by Jim Cummings.
There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Like, yeah, as I said before, like the whole Darkwing Duck episode, like if that was just a one and done deal, I'd be fine with it. But they continued on with it, and it just it didn't really work when they tried adding more Darkwing Duck elements to it.
Oh well.
Yeah, but I think we got a little off topic.
Yeah, poor Luke is probably all completely lost with us talking about a movie he didn't see.
All interested in.
Sorry, Luke.
I mean, let me say why. It's because I feel like there's this sort of trend going on where, like, they probably saw the new Space Jam movie last year and felt like, oh, we can make a profit out of this. And, like, you got these other things that came up previously, like you had Ready Player One, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Looney Tunes back in action. I mean, when Roger Rabbit came out, it was so unique at the time because you'd never seen a crossover at this magnitude before. And now you got all these studios doing all these movies, pandering, and like, oh, let's throw in all these references and cameos and everything.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a little exhausting. Although I'm kind of guilty of the same thing myself with the Sonic movie Menders and all that. So I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, that, like, the only difference with Sonic Movie Madness, that was like way back in the day when, like, big crossover projects was kind of more of an internet thing. Nowadays, it's kind of more commonplace, which
it's more corporate.
Yeah, I know there are some people might be a bit tired of the constant crossovers, and even with people getting fed up with how meta like certain medias has become, because this film is very meta and self-aware.
Okay, before we move on, my wife wanted to say she absolutely loves the fight with Captain Putty and the female cop at the end of Rescue Rangers the movie, because he was making fight noises. I mean, hey, you got Simmons himself playing the part, so that's always good.
Alright, J.K. Simmons is good in anything. From Cape Johnson to Portal to many other characters.
There you
go. I feel like her using the fire extinguisher to freeze him was a reference to Terminator 2.
Yep.
So I appreciated that.
I've never seen Terminator 2, so I'll have to take your word on
it. Blasphemy!
Yeah, I haven't seen any of Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Terminator films, so I'll have to get around to that.
Blasphemy! Yeah. How dare you call yourself a fan? A human being.
Well, I never said I was a fan of Terminator.
Basically, imagine Silver, but if he's a robot.
There you go.
Anyway.
Okay.
Terminator 2 has one of the best plot twists in movie history. So you have to watch Terminator 1 and then watch Terminator 2. It's
yeah.
probably one of the best... No, it's definitely one of the best sequels of all time.
Yep, so I've heard from James Rolfe and many other people. Yeah.
There you go. Well, shall we move on to Sonic Fleetway? Oh wait, do we want to talk about the Sonic the special, the deleted?
Oh
scene from
yeah,
Sonic
the short
movie?
special for the Sonic movie 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Or shall we save that for later? Because we're just delaying a lot.
Well, we could do it now, because at least then we're actually getting into Sonic.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Fair enough. Well, I don't have much to say about it. I found it kind of like normal, I guess. So anyone else is free to talk about it.
I liked it. I mean, it was very nice. I liked the junk drone robot because it looks like something you would see in like a Sonic game, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And I kind of like how they like try to narrate, like they know they're in a thing and they're like trying to narrate. And Knuckles was saying, "Oh no, the sacred tomes!" and I like the bit at the end where like. Tails made the drone on their side because like you can make it like an assistant or something. But you have to see if this drone fella will turn up in Sonic 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, I don't think so.
I hope it does. I'm
that
already
would be
seeing people like... I'm already seeing people getting excited for the drone, wondering what its name's going to be.
Yeah, I can see it being like an assistant to Tails.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's already like tons of fan art of like that one scene where Tails is like, "Oh no, don't worry, he's just misunderstood." And he has that sad face. There's like so much fan art of the sad face movie
Does
Tails.
Sonic movie 3 really need more characters? Because I'm already worried Knuckles and Tails are gonna feel superfluous.
Well, you got to think they're trying to make it like the MCU, where they like, try and put all these characters in.
Yeah, sure, but then everyone gonna fight on screen time. But yeah, that's for movie 3 to figure out, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing I'm hoping for Sonic movie 3 is that they treat Shadow with respect and whatnot, because at this point in time, the poor guy really needs it, with how he's been treated like shit in the meta era for so long. And of course, with IDW Sonic, yeah, the less said about that version, the better.
Yep, fortunately it was a lot better in Sonic X, but we'll get to that later. I have to say with this cartoon, I absolutely love the look. I think because there's no humans in it, this is fully animated. You can really tell because the colors are much more saturated. Even the sky looks beautiful. So
it kind of has that modern Pixar look.
Yeah, exactly. So this cartoon, this short is a very good argument for a Sonic movie completely animated, I suppose. I wonder if the junkyard is even animated, or did they actually film that in an actual junkyard?
I think most of it looks animated.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's all animated.
Because with modern animated movies now, you can't really tell now what's real and what's animated.
Nope.
Yeah.
Although, ironically, like I said, I do notice this is fully animated because how much more saturated the colors are. I mean, I guess because they don't have to interact with humans, they can be more daring with the coloring and all that.
So, speaking of characterization, some people are concerned about how Knuckles and Tails act in this short. And I don't think that's something we have to be concerned about. Knuckles is like, he's being goofy and silly again, but he's not being dumb. And, Tails, yeah, he's kind of a scaredy cat in this, but like, this Tails hasn't done the independence arc from Sonic Adventure yet, so we can cut him some slack.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, like Knuckles in this short would probably be like how Knuckles would usually see him. I mean, how Roger would usually see Knuckles. You know, like he gets knocked out by the robot, but then he just immediately tries to attack it again.
Very determined, yeah.
Yeah, that duty of honor. Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it was a pretty good short. Pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
You guys also saw some of the deleted scenes from Sonic Movie 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the deleted scenes. I don't know how many there are. I just know some of them are on YouTube. One of them I can only find from a reaction video, but yeah.
Yeah, the one with Robotnik on the drugs, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. How ironic that now the prequel comic and the movie had something in common. Robotnik being high on mushrooms.
Yeah, shame they didn't use the Stone actually turns to Agent Stone joke in the comic. Oh well.
Yeah.
As soon as I got Paramount Plus, I can see the cartoon. Or as soon as I get the Blu-ray of Sonic Movie 2. Comes out 2 days before my birthday. What a timing. It's like they're
Woohoo.
begging it to be a birthday
nice.
present to me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Sylvia, you know what to get him.
Relatively cheap. There you go. I especially love the joke where Robotnik shows how he gets his money by just quickly hijacking someone's fundraiser and just putting a sad face on it.
I also love the bit where you see Knuckles' figure slowly moving.
Yeah, my wife was immediately joking that I should do that with my action figures, considering I did like an action figure Sonic recently.
Oh yeah, the stand-in model. Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Definitely.
But yeah, like I still love how they write Robotnik. I loved when he has that pettiness to it, like evil in small ways. That's what makes him fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the relationship between them is very similar to that of Blackadder and Baldrick. And if Jim Carrey wasn't retiring, I could actually see some kind of comedic spin-off series with them.
Yeah, well, apparently that's said in a recent interview that Jim Carrey himself is the one who wanted Agent Stone to be such a prominent character because he needed someone to play off against. So he really created that duo, I suppose. And hey, people love it, so good choice. Good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with how underutilized he was in the first film, but here he actually has a lot more fun with him in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the actor who plays him, Lee, I don't want to pronounce that last name. He's been shown a lot of love on Twitter, and he deserves it. I love Agent Stone. He's the best new addition to the series from these movies, and I hope he becomes like a character like if one thing was to be taken from the movies and made canon, I hope it's him. Just like how from the IDW comics, I'd like it to be Tangle and Whisper.
Ah, yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah,
Yeah.
considering Sonic Team can barely give Tails and Knuckles any screen time, I doubt they'll bother with it. But it would have been nice. Yeah, I'll be in favor of it. Sure.
Yeah, I remember it took me a while to warm up to Agent Stone, and that was mostly because, like in the first film, he's kind of there, then disappears halfway through it, and I was very bitter against it, and that was just mostly due to bad timing, because, the previous Sonic games, they got, Infinite and Dodonpa, new characters that barely don't do anything, so then he comes back in the sequel, being more active. It's like, oh, okay, this is a fun character, yeah, I like him.
Wow, the story is actually built up upon, instead of just set on fire and replaced by something else stupid. Yeah, I hope Sonic Team is paying attention. Of course they're not. Oh well. Well, I heard word in the street is that we're gonna get our new look at Sonic Frontiers in 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe. Sonic's birthday. So,
yeah, I've heard some talks about new Sonic Frontiers footage or something about that. Yeah, new info about Sonic Frontiers, which is another trailer or another announcement.
Yeah, well, they have a lot to prove, but so far it's not looking very good.
Yeah. Or they could just recycle. Yeah, they could just recycle the same trailer because hey, it worked for Sonic Forces.
Yeah, just show like a couple more areas of the barren wasteland. It's like, oh look, a different patch of grass with rocks on it. Like, ooh. Oh well, but enough bitterness, I suppose. Shall we move to Fleetway?
I think we shall.
All right.
Because we're about 40 minutes in, we still haven't started.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
Right, so Sonic Fleetway, the first one. Time Racer. Anyone wants to do a synopsis or something? Man, Sonic is really...
sure, yeah.
All right.
I'll go with this one. So yeah, Sonic is going to rescue Tails, because of course Tails is in danger again. It's a Sonic Fleetway. And of course it's a trap. And the trap is that Tails is like locked up somewhere halfway around the world from Emerald Hill Zone, and Eggman is going to destroy Emerald Hill with a giant laser, because there's no way Sonic could possibly get around the world in 5 seconds. So of course he does. And he even has time to turn a bunch of sand into glass, which he then picks up and uses to reflect the laser back to the space station and blow it up. And then Tails shows up like 2 seconds later, so I guess Tails can get around the world in 7 seconds.
Yeah, very impressive.
And then Sonic is still constantly insulting him.
Yeah, Sonic is really a jerk. Pixel brain.
Yeah, his common nickname for Tails, yeah.
Gee.
But yeah, at least we got an actually decent, pretty badass Sonic moment here where he actually goes around the world in 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. It was making me feel like a little late game Archie Sonic-esque, where it's like stakes are high and Sonic has to do something amazing. So,
Oh, yeah.
and then it was just immediately Sonic starts insulting Tails again.
Yeah, I really don't like how he's. Well, I guess I just have to be sarcastic about it. But yeah, I wanted to kind of like they have their own like familiar setting and all that, but it feels kind of boring and makes the world feel small because here we have Sonic running across the planet, except apparently nothing exists on the planet except Emerald Hill or something. Like it makes the world feel very small. But I guess they're gonna do more world building later on.
Yeah, I think we're still in that phase of like one-shot stories. We haven't gone into like big world stuff yet.
Also, isn't it supposed to be the timeline where Robotnik took over the world? Because in the 7 comics we're gonna read now, it's not really as amplified anymore. I mean, I remember the last couple comics we read, the fact that Robotnik was owning the world was really like emphasized. The locations were very dark, and like Sonic had to rescue animals from oppressed locations, and that just kind of dropped now. And now they're just pretending like nothing happened again. So is that?
Well, I feel like they're. Well, I think this is just still at the point where they haven't really decided like what they're gonna stick with, the ongoing darker tone or just these one-shot stories. So they haven't quite finalized it yet. It's kind of similar with what Archie Sonic did back then when it was, lighthearted and goofy, and then they had a few stories that felt more like an episode of Sonic Sat AM, but it took them a while. They kept going back and forth from the tones and eventually stuck to leading up to being more like Sat AM.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, I love the art style in this one. Tails looks very cute. Nice shape.
Yeah, very dark beginning because like you got like Robotnik's dark fortress and you got Tails in a very horrified predicament in some sort of where he's chained up and almost drowning.
That is a pretty intense start, yeah.
And also you got Robotnik looking very disgusting in the bottom panel.
Yeah, they love making him drool and all that, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like when Robotnik used to look so scary.
Yeah, well, we do now.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I always kind of found it weird was like how he defeats the giant death ray thing. Like, oh, Sonic is somehow fast enough to create sand into glass and then use it to reflect the beam. It's like, well, it's odd, but hey, it's a lot more believable than that time in Archie Sonic when Sonic was falling to his doom and took out like dirt and sand from his sneaker, threw it across, and was somehow fast enough to use that as a bridge to make it to safety.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the most jumping the shark thing. And that was happening during the damn end game art. That was like the big kind of finale-ish kind of that story.
Oh, wow. Victini gave me a nice super chat. Thank you very much. Dude, I've been watching you since I was a kid. Thanks for still drawing, man. Yeah, no problem. Even though it's been a while since I've uploaded a drawn cartoon. And I'm not working on one at the moment, so sorry for that. But more stuff is coming, sure. Alright, sorry for the interruption. But yeah, that was this comic. Anyone else have something to say about it?
Yeah, I got nothing. It's just a nice standard episode.
Yes, Captain?
A tiny detail I like that they... Like, it's something so simple, but like, after Sonic makes the giant mirror, there's still sand stuck to the bottom of it because, like, it's just melted sand, and of course, it would stick to other sand. So, I don't know, I thought that was a nice detail they added.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, art is pretty top-notch. Good job, artist. I'm too lazy and bad to look up the name. Oh, well. They got paid for it. So, the next one, the Halloween issue, apparently.
Ah, yes, the cover that most likely has traumatized Captain Theory. Because it has Decap Attack on the cover.
Oh, God. Why Decap Attack?
So
Methinks you're not a fan of that game.
It's such a weird, dumb game.
You actually own it on the Sega Genesis, or did you get it with one of the Sega Genesis collections?
No, I never owned a Genesis myself, actually. But yeah, I've tried it, and it's just so freaking weird and dumb. Who made it and why?
Hey, if you hate weird and dumb things, why are you watching my stuff?
No, because you're funny at least.
Fair enough. I do prefer the Japanese version it was based on, because I think Decap Attack had the same thing as Mario 2 for the NES, where it used to be like a different, like, anime-based game, and then the American version gave it a different theme. I like the original anime theme; it had more of an adventure theme to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're going off topic a little.
Yeah, I haven't played much of Decap Attack. I played it from one of those Genesis compilations on PS3, and I didn't get far on it. It's just like, I'm getting my ass kicked, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I've gotten better now. But
I think it got to the boss or something. Oh well. Yeah, so who wants to do the amazing story of Sonic losing his memory?
Oh, I'll probably do it. Basically, you got these little critters, and they're seeing a giant comet coming out of the sky. It crashes along with a key, but it turns out this meteorite turns out to be Sonic, who just happens to gain amnesia. He wakes up and he meets an owl who is totally not Longcore, called Steve, and apparently he's in the hidden zone, but which proposed to Burkle. So Sonic doesn't even remember who he is, but he decided to help out his friends anyway. Meanwhile, Robotnik on something that doesn't look like on a Star Destroyer, but is on a Sky Fortress, and he's not angry, and he's not going to make his minions listen to Take That Again, which is a very old 90s boy band, but he decided to launch a massive army against the free peoples of Mobius, and they encounter some robots, a lot of awesome fighting's going on, but one of the robots went and called Sonic by his name, and that is how he got his memories back, and that's how he was able to unleash all his power to rescue all his friends. And then they all go back, they all leave, and Robotnik is like pissed off as usual.
I hate that hedgehog.
I just love the old 90s reference, like to Take That, because it reminds me of those old bands you get back then, like the Backstreet Boys and Wet Wet Wet, and probably New Kids on the Block.
Look, someone asked in the chat if you can still buy Sonic Fleetway in the UK. Do you know if that's...
No, it's all gone. No. I mean you might have to look around some very old, antique stores or something that might sell very old comics, but you can't really find it anymore anywhere. I mean, you could try Amazon or eBay.
Yeah, that's
because I imagine there might be some online sites exclusive to Europe that you might find them. But
or you could try. There's also a continuation of Sonic the Comic with Sonic the Comic Online. I don't know if it's still active or not, or they're still updating with new issues.
Yeah, I know it's still online. I just know it takes them a while to get a new issue and whatnot. But I heard someone say it was canceled, but then I looked no, the recent one was pretty recent, so they haven't announced anything about ending the site or anything now.
Yeah, now I wonder if we should take a look if we finished with all the official ones. Because fan projects also deserve attention.
And we can get to the Big the Cat assassination subplot, which was we've talked about briefly, but it's just so awesome.
Yeah, and see all the other game characters.
It's one of those reasons I love Big the Cat, is because Big the Cat is secretly one of the most powerful characters in the Sonic series. To the point that canonically, Big the Cat is so powerful that Shara confused him for Sonic.
Oh, wow. Really? When?
Yeah. In Sonic and the Secret Rings, the only game Shara was in.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, you can unlock Big the Cat diary pages or something, right?
Yeah, and in Big the Cat's journal, he mentions that Shara showed up and assumed he was Sonic.
Oh, wow. So, that's even worse than thinking Shadow is Sonic. What did you say, Luke? Sorry?
She should have gone to Specsavers.
Yes, exactly. So that's even worse than mixing up Shadow and Sonic. Oh, well. I think we got a little off topic. Yeah, anyway,
Yeah, so back to this comic. This comic has a really weird art style where, like, Sonic's head is huge. And like, yeah, everything is very, very round.
And for some reason, all the badniks are silver from that one panel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're mostly silver with some occasional like accessories that are color.
I guess.
Yeah, and
Robotnik
also there's this one panel where Robotnik shows off his arm, and he looks a bit weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with the big head and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird art style.
And his weird looking tiny hand.
Yes. You can have his shoulder.
I have a big-headed little arms.
Also, he's back to wearing the classic Eggman outfit again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess there's not much of a rule between the artists what style they should keep to. But yeah, I'm not in a position to mock anyone else's art style.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe Robotnik just forgot to paint his badniks before sending them out.
Yeah, he has to make them so quickly they just have to speed up.
I suppose it's no different than collecting Warhammer figurines and not painting them.
No, there you go.
or like those like Sonic minifigures from like Jazzwares, like that Motorbug one where it's just black and red and that's it. They didn't bother painting the rest of it.
But yeah, I do love that Sonic doesn't know how to fight until he knows what his name is. It's like that's the only thing keeping you from fighting. Okay.
Also, that panel in the fifth page where they straight up just traced classic Sonic artwork.
Yep.
And then they didn't even do it right because oh wait, no. Hold on. Let me look up that actual picture. Yeah, his leg is supposed to cross behind his other leg, not in front of it.
Oh yeah. Oh well, it doesn't. I guess he changed his mind this time. It is where he puts his leg. I do kind of like the Sonic looking scared. It has a weird cuteness to it. But yeah, it's a weird art style. I wish that the colors were more varied. It's, sometimes a little too.
I did think one line was funny, and it was when he reveals he's got amnesia. He says, "My bump on the head is worse than it looks." It's just a weird thing to say.
Yeah. And then there's another. What was it? There was some dialogue in there, which I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, when it shows like Robotnik walking, it's like, everything's going according to plan, and the badnik is like, you're not angry, Robotnik? You're not going to make us listen to Take That again as punishment?
Yeah.
So
remember the old 90s pop bands?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of figured that was just like a random, obscure UK only thing. Like,
yeah, it was. Like, you got all these bands back in the day. You got Take That. You got the Backstreet Boys. You got Wet, 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 Blur.
I definitely remember the Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys are awesome, though.
Pop culture references, yeah. So apparently Sonic Chaos was also released this time, so it was a review. I'm kind of surprised how little the review was. This is the first time we see an actual Sonic game reviewed in this magazine. And
what's interesting about this issue is that not only did it promote some Sonic books, but also this is where they promoted the Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon with stuff that would not actually be in the cartoon, such as a promotional image of Sonic and his friends, the Freedom Team, which never turned up.
Yeah, I think that's like an early draft or something of Sonic Sat AM or something based off of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I guess it's still the time they still were merged together, kind of like Sonic Boom and how Sonic Boom started as a serious thing and then became a different thing. Although in this case, both halves ended up actually existing. But yeah, that was kind of neat. And that's the awesome thing about reading the old magazines, really, to travel back in time when Sonic's cartoon was brand new. But yeah, it is kind of shocking to see those beta images in this magazine. I could have sworn, because that's also the fun thing. Now that puts the TV shows in a better time frame in my head, because I always imagined those cartoons being out immediately after the first game, before the second game came out. But now we know that Sonic 3 is already very far in development.
Yeah, and apparently it came out over here in late '93. Because I think one of my earliest memories of watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was on this UK breakfast show called The Big Breakfast, and I think they would show it over the week in 10-minute segments.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
That's a surprise.
Yeah. I have vague memories of how I first saw Adventures of Sonic. Like, this was back in the day when it used to air on the Toon Disney Channel for some reason. I have vague memories of first watching, like, clips of Pseudo Sonic and Sonic's Birthday. I didn't get around to properly watching the series until they were released on Shout Factory, released them on DVD, which I have managed to still have them, including the ultra rare and exclusive Volume 3 that was only available on their website for some reason, which now it's become like a rare collection. It's definitely not quite as rare as my Sonic Dash and Spin mangas, but hey, it's kind of cool.
Cool nonetheless. Yep. I also wanted
Lucky you, I was not able to get Volume 3.
Sorry, what?
I said, lucky you, I was not able to get Volume 3.
Yeah. Well, I think now the series has been released on Blu-ray, like all the episodes on a Blu-ray set, so at least there's that.
I also wanted to bring up that in this very same Sonic issue, we see a man melting to death in the Streets of Rage comic. I just wanted to let you know that this happens in the Sonic cartoon.
Oh, hey, there's me when I was doing stunt double duty.
Yeah. Melting man indeed. No, Max. No, well, you have to say that line. You're the stunt man.
No, Max. Nah!
And that's the sound of a melting man.
Nailed it.
Pretty dark. Well, let's move on to the next Sonic comic. And now Echo the Dolphin gets his own comic, and he looks kind of derpy on the cover. Although Sonic looks great.
Yeah, I forgot Echo the Dolphin had his own stories in this series.
He's got stars on his forehead for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. He's supposed to be like an alien dolphin or something.
Yeah, he always had stars on his head. It's just, I think it's only noticeable on the box art or the title screen. Like, his in-game sprite, it's just a regular dolphin.
Yeah, because I remember when I first heard about or saw screenshots of Echo the Dolphin, I thought, oh, you're just playing as a dolphin, he just swims around. But I had no idea it involved stuff like time travel and aliens and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Especially the Dreamcast version goes nuts, where they have this whole philosophy thing about how dolphins relate to humans and all that. Like, there's a crazy level where you're actually not in the ocean, but you're in the sky, but there's, like, waterways in the sky you have to swim through. It's insane. So, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of Echo the Dolphin, because I hate underwater levels in all games, let alone a whole game about underwater levels. But it has a lot of creative ideas, so there you go.
You must hate SpongeBob games.
Well, they don't really play us underwater levels. They just play us regular platforms. So I'm fine with
SpongeBob games are awesome. Especially Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Battle for Bikini Bottom is so good.
Oh, yeah.
That's
remastered version was decent. Yeah.
Poor Luke. He's the only one who hates the SpongeBob games, and we all disagree with him. So, now we go to the first appearance of Werehog Sonic, apparently. So I guess...
Or an evil version of Sonic.
Yeah, one of the earliest ideas. I don't know if this predates Scourge or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe you should keep track on that. But yeah, Captain, you want to do this one? Because it's pretty much Werehog Sonic, or do you not remember?
Yeah. Yeah, so Tails is playing with a soccer ball, and he gets lost in some bushes where he finds a TV monitor with an extra life in it. So I guess that's how they incorporated that game element into the story. And the thing's like, hey, let me out of here. I'm totally Sonic. Don't mind my evil eyes. And Tails is like, yeah, sure, why not? Because, like, I guess Tails needed a reason to let Sonic out of a box. Which, with the way Sonic treats him, fair enough. But yeah,
there's barely any difference between nice Sonic and bad Sonic, so...
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it's weird werehog-looking Sonic, way before Werehog Sonic was a thing. And he just goes around causing as much chaos as he can, and, like, he's nice enough to give people warnings that he's coming, apparently, but, yeah, he's just causing all kinds of destruction. Then actual Sonic shows up, and apparently he got word that Sonic was causing destruction, so word travels even faster than he does. And
Tails is only Sonic 2 seconds slower than him, right?
Yeah. So Sonic just kicks the evil Sonic's ass, just like instantly, and
Literally.
nobody believes that. Nobody believes that it wasn't him causing all the mayhem until evil Sonic shows up again immediately and clears his name. And then Tails saves the day by sucking evil Sonic back into the TV monitor, somehow, and Sonic punts it into space.
Somehow.
Yeah. A weird thing that, like, he says is that Dr. Ovi Kintibor created him before turning evil. So why is he evil?
I guess being stuck in a box for who knows so long would pretty much make you bitter and cynical.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Especially
Okay.
when you're stuck behind a bush.
Melting
So-
Man, you did research when Scourge was born?
Yeah, during the story synopsis, I just got real curious. Like, okay, did this character actually predate Scourge? And it turns out, yes, and this Extra Life came out like November 1993. Scourge didn't make his intro until March of 1994.
Well, half a year ahead of him.
Yeah, so this would technically be the first, like, evil doppelganger version of Sonic that I know of.
So the artist of this comic can now sue Ken Panders.
Yep.
We got you there.
Take that, Ken Penders.
Poor guy.
Fuckhead.
Can't catch a
I
break.
do like the concept of how these Extra Lives monitors are incorporated into this world, and that how one of them is actually used as a villain.
It's kind of also hilarious in Fleetway that everything that's good in the games is bad in the comics. Like Super Sonic kills you, Extra Life kill you.
Yeah, like now all we need is like a warp ring to come to life with like evil eyes and sharp teeth trying to take after Sonic and his friends.
Surprise
A
scales
signpost just
Yeah, go ahead.
signpost just beats the shit out of Sonic.
Well, there was that version of Metal Sonic that was like pure nightmare fuel.
Fair enough, yeah.
Oh yeah, from the previous story, yeah.
I also love that Sally just goes up to evil Sonic, just like, you're banished, we want you out of here. Even though you set everything on fire, it was like this dangerous thing. Like, well, you're kind of brave, just walk up to the guy you think is this villain. Just go, just go out of here. Like, oh, okay. I just want to set your village on fire, but if I'm not welcome anymore, I'll walk away.
No, that was Sally talking to regular Sonic, not the evil one.
Yeah, I know, but far as she knows, it is the evil Sonic.
Mm.
Because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And even then, regular Sonic is also evil and would set their homes on fire pretty much in this universe. Well, okay, I'm being a little exaggerated.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, not too much, apparently. He's, like, definitely a jerk, but it seems to be the only difference between him and the evil Sonic is that Sonic actually likes being a hero.
I guess, yeah.
He doesn't like acting like one, but he likes being one.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
difference. But yeah, that was a fun concept, fun comic.
Yeah, even if it's just a one-shot character. But
Yeah.
hey, he did manage to eventually start some kind of a fan base. Because I know, like, nowadays people might know him of that fan-made mod from Friday Night Funkin', where he's an opponent you can encounter.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have enough evil Sonic clones yet. Metal Sonic, Shadow, another Metal Sonic.
And of course, Scourge.
Oh, well.
Poor
Moving
Tails,
on, or
though.
does anyone else have
I,
to stay?
I was just going to simply say, like, I'm looking at the last page, and I'm just kind of noticing, like, how much Tails' body just keeps on changing size into.
There's a
you know, like
massive
it's actually-
forehead.
Right,
well,
when
no,
you
like
mentioned
a-
Tails
like a
yet, in the
fat
first
body.
page he looks even worse. He's almost
Yeah.
like fat or something. He looks
Yeah.
like he has my body type.
Yeah, apparently Tails is a shapeshifter and he just hasn't gotten
Yeah.
used to his fox form.
That's a
Yeah, I
good
mean,
point.
like, in that one he's like really chubby all of a sudden, and then the next one he's like all like normal again. Like maybe he's just like holding a TV monitor and like, okay, no one's looking, I can let it all go. It's like and then Sonic says, "Give me that monitor." It's like, okay, breathe in.
Or he's
Okay.
better, he is fat at the beginning, but then Sonic sets him on fire and that burns all his calories.
Or you just ate a Snickers. You know, you're just not yourself with that one.
There you go. It was a Snickers commercial all along. Okay, apparently Sonic Spinball was released, so I had a review. I
Yeah.
had a bigger one at Sonic Chaos. It has 80% in case you're curious.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's the Genesis version. If it was the Game Gear version, it would be worse.
Hey,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
the Game Gear version. That's why I grew up.
Oh, I
on
thought
it.
you didn't like it. I thought it like made you broke your Game Gear that one time.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I don't like that game. Never mind.
Now that you mention it, fuck that game.
Yeah, Sonic Spinball. Yeah, I tried beating it, and I think I just got lost in the third level. That's like the machine. I just had no idea where to go.
Yeah.
It's a big maze. But hey, the soundtrack is nice. I wonder what Sonic Origins is gonna do with Sonic Spinball. Because apparently it's incorporating it in its game, but I wonder
Yeah,
how.
well, I've heard talks that it's like not the actual game; it's just the story mode. So it kind of makes me think that it's just more like a cinematic version of the story. You know, kind of like what they did with the Kingdom Hearts games and the HD collections. But I don't know. Maybe they will have the game in there.
Or maybe just a level based on it. We'll see. It's out in a month, so
Yeah. So hey, at least if the Sonic Spinball game is in the collection, then at least a new generation of fans will know who Sally Acorn and the Freedom Fighters are.
another thing that amused me later on, there's like a big article in this Sonic comic where they say how the 8-bit systems of Sega are still thriving. And it amused me that almost all the screenshots they show is from the Mega Drive, or at least the Sonic Spinball ones. They keep doing that. Every single time they talk about a Game Gear game or a Master System game, they very often add the Mega Drive screenshots with it. So,
Apparently, they couldn't tell the difference between the graphics of a Mega Drive and a Master System.
no, apparently not.
I mean, it's like that meme going around, like, here are two pictures, which one's different? And the guy says they're both the same. So that's pretty much how they see it. It's like, here's a screenshot of the Mega Drive. Is it the Game Gear or the Mega Drive one? They're both the same. Who cares?
Yeah, that's from the
Like
that's from the U.S. version of The Office.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. The origin of the meme. Right, we go to the next one. Now Christmas themed. Sonic Christmas time, and we get the cooler artist back again. So, Hero of the Year award. Anyone wants to do a synopsis?
Let's see.
Or is it my turn?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Even though I barely remember what's happening. Oh well. Anyway, Sonic is back in his weird ping-wing outfit again, his winter outfit, which I think they referenced in the movie. And Tails having a trench coat, so he's going the Turtles' way. Anyway, Sonic is about to get the Hero of the Year award, even though this is still supposed to be the Robotnik run world. And I'm kind of confused how the universe works in Sonic Fleetway, because sometimes they imply there's only Emerald Hill, and now there's like a whole city with big awards going on. But yeah, so we get introduced to a new character, this weird wolf guy who's the host of this show, who's about to say that, say, Sonic is the Hero of the Year as usual. And of course, Sonic is being all a jerk about it, because he doesn't trust it, because there's probably a trap happening. And surprise, there is a trap. He gets locked into a glass bowl with this scary ooze coming out that this artist apparently seems to love, because almost every story this artist drew, there's some pink ooze coming in.
Yeah.
Of course, Sonic escapes with ease, even though it's kind of funny looking all the people in the audience. This bunny looks derpy. But yeah, Sonic escapes with no problem as usual, so that was another threat of nothing. Then all of a sudden we're outside? Or did I do that wrong? No, I think...
What? Well, if you're...
Oh, well, in this issue, they kind of mixed up the pages a bit.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was going for the scans. It's like, wait, this space is supposed to take place in that one, so I actually just manually
Page
fixed
9 is apparently supposed to be on page 7 or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the pages were in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we
That
get
explains it.
under attack by weird robots, and Sonic destroys them all. And that was it. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I guess they were in the wrong order then, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some weird looking badniks there, with just the big skull heads with the arms and everything, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of... they kind of had a thing where it's like some sort of like piracy thing, and there was like this grinning skull or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. The old sort of like Sega Pirate Channel thingy.
Yeah, I thought it was something to do with like pirate radio or something.
Yeah. So I think it's all based in like in the UK, I assume, because I mean like because I keep seeing that skull in like advertising, and then I also see like this other like chubby sort of guy wearing a fez, being like super excited that he's giving someone like a cyber razor cut.
Okay.
And that's like one of the TV adverts and such.
Right.
And I
Anyway,
killed
yeah, so we got punished for reading the illegally uploaded Sonic the Comic, I guess.
Well, hey, these
Oops.
comics never got released in America, so that's
Yeah.
my only
There we go.
excuse.
So should I skip ahead to find the
well-
others? No. Oh, well, I guess we'll
one thing I
never
was
find out what happened.
Well.
But yeah, it's kind of
What?
funny how the wolf kind of looks Wile E. Coyote style. Pretty sure
Mm.
it's
I
a
was-
direct reference.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
one thing I kind of noticed is like I think this is like a quote unquote early appearance of Vector. Only just saying because it's like a crocodile in the crowd shots, and I'm like automatically thinking of, hey, it's Vector in the early days.
Could be, although it's probably more random.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I do kind of see it. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a reference to Vector's original design from the Sonic's band.
Oh yeah, the scrapped idea for the sound test. Yeah.
yeah, because Knuckles Chaotix wasn't out yet. Because I haven't seen it mentioned
What?
in.
But you say the wolf kind of looks like Wile E. Coyote, but I think he looks more like the wolf from Hoodwinked. Does anyone remember that movie?
Yeah,
Actually, when I was thinking about Wile E. Coyote, there was a wolf character in another Looney Tunes cartoon with a different name, but it's based on the same model as Wile E. Coyote. I just can't
Yeah,
remember
that's
his name.
Ralph.
Ralph
Yeah,
was, that was it.
Yeah, the Sam and Ralph cartoons. Yeah.
Sam and Ralph. Those ones are great. They're almost as good as Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
But Hoodwinked was from 2001, so I don't think it's based on that. That'll be a future.
Yeah,
That was a CGI cartoon, wasn't it?
I think Wile and Ralph, the only difference is the color of their nose, where Wile E. Coyote has a black nose and Ralph has a red nose. I think that's the only difference.
Yeah. So basically, one's sober, one's drunk.
Or a Santa Claus helper.
What I do find hilarious about this this story is in the very first panel, you got Sonic dressed as Bob Beakey, whilst Tails is just wearing a trench coat, which makes him look like a flasher.
Yeah, the only reason, like, oh, why don't I get a cool outfit? It's like, oh, it's just as long as you keep your tail sitting in that coat, then no one will know you, or something.
Which, fair enough, later we see Tails cloned, so Sonic is right. As seen in the thumbnail of our video. Well, getting there.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I guess this scan screwed up, so we can't really talk properly about it. Oh well.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to look up the comic, the original form. If there's for sale somewhere. Guess we'll just move
Yeah.
on to the next one.
Yeah, the original version going for like 12,000 euros or whatever.
Probably, yeah. So this one's starring a big, giant, scary green robot. Anyone wants to do the synopsis?
I guess I'll do it.
All right.
Okay, so it opens up with this giant robot who's forcing all these badniks to create some kind of a thing called the Green Eater or something. So Sonic is just chilling out in Emerald Hill, and Tails is like, Tails, Sonic, oh, the place is melting, and yep, the whole place is melting. So apparently this Green Eater thing is like draining the life force from Mobius. So Sonic goes off and tries to beat up the giant green whatever it is. I don't know what it's. It kind of reminds me of
Shrek.
that
Just
one.
call it Shrek.
Ah, yeah. So anyway, Sonic runs off to Scrap Brain Zone, fights off the green robot for a while, and the green one's like, you cannot defeat me, I am indestructible! But Sonic's like, yeah, well, I just grabbed your battery, bozo. Like, what? And then he falls over dead. And then they use the scrap remains to build a house because of Emerald Hill being melted.
There you go. Luke, you have any opinion about Mr. T the robot?
I did think he was quite impressive looking. Like he looks like a giant green titanous, scary titan robot. Like way before like the Sonic 2 movie, and I suppose it kind of does have that scary Warhammer look to it, and also his face kind of has that Thomas feel to it.
Thomas the Train Engine?
Yeah, it kind of has that Thomas kind of face to it.
Okay.
Almost.
Bit like Gordon.
Yeah, I was about to say like troublesome trucks. That's one truck you don't want to fuck with.
Nope.
You're destroying
Oh,
everything in my base, Sonic? That's disgraceful.
You've got confusion and delay.
Yeah, you've caused confusion and delay. Yeah, that's the real identity of this robot. It's actually Sir Topham Hatt just controlling the robot, or the Fat Controller, yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
it. That's great. But yeah, I love it. He's also very expressive. He has great face expressions. Man, the British really have this awesome art style to it. Really,
Yeah, the art's pretty good here.
It's like really artsy, all these comics. Even the worst drawn one is still like very unique looking, kind of fun to look at. I'm having a good time.
So a couple of details about this comic is to destroy the Green Eater, Sonic claims he has to go faster than he ever has before, which, considering just a couple issues ago, he raced halfway around the world in 5 seconds. Makes me wonder just how fast he needed to go to make this tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first it was hyperspeed, and now it's ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed. Soon he'll be going plaid.
Yep.
But also, the idea of the Green Eater, this came out way before Sonic Lost World.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Yeah, you remember that totally memorable part of Sonic Lost World where Eggman had a machine that just sucked the life out of the planet for some reason?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was his big master plan or something. There's a lot of
Never
things
really
I
went anywhere with that. But yeah, they stole it from this comic. Sue them. Sonic Fleetway.
Sue their
Sue them
asses.
all.
The Sonic series has just evolved into writers suing each other.
Maybe that's what Sonic Frontiers is actually going to be. Sonic go into different zones where the writers and past creators are just fighting over each other.
Final level's a courtroom.
With Ken Penders as the final boss.
Poor guy. That was just a punchline.
I mean, one thing though, obviously with the comic is like how in this particular sort of story, Sonic now has like tanned legs as opposed to blue.
I didn't even notice that, but now you say it, yeah.
Yeah, I just
it
noticed.
does look creepy, like he has naked legs, even though he does.
No,
Have
he
naked
forgot
legs,
to
but...
he forgot to put his tights on.
No, if he got his leggings.
Why did you say it? Now I can't look at these panels anymore. He looks creepy.
Oh my
Move
god.
on.
Man,
Oh god, it's so horrible.
man. And yeah, so like first we had like the blue arms being like this common coloring error, and now we've got this.
And 10 legs. Oh, I prefer
Yeah.
blue arms, I have to admit. I
Oh,
can't believe I didn't notice that. I was
Yeah,
appreciating the art.
Looking at the robot, like especially when he's brandishing his weapon, he looks like something straight out of an 80s video game cover, like you would get on like the old microcomputers, that involves like sci-fi.
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Then again, those were often from England, right? Like England was like
Yeah.
one of the
Yes,
biggest,
so I mean, and as I said, it kind of has that like 2000 AD look to it.
who knows? Maybe this artist actually did do a couple covers of Amiga games and all that. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it does look very artsy. But, yeah, absolutely, it could fit on an old game console or a metal album with no problem. Yeah, pretty good looking.
Yeah.
So apparently, Sonic City is finally officially launched. 90%.
Yeah. At
Hooray.
£50, which by today's money is about 87.
Yeah, pretty expensive. Yeah, I had to have a Sega CD, so I don't think many people played the original. I had it on PC myself, which was a pain to get to work. But hey, now we got a GameCube version or Sonic Jam, so...
Yeah,
And
or
on
the
Steam.
mobile or the mobile phone port, which a lot of people say that's the definitive way to play Sonic CD.
and soon we'll have that on Sonic Origins, so no more problems. But yeah, was back then you had to have a Sega CD. What a bother.
Yeah, what's noticing they have a segment talking a bit about Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and quite a lot of talk about Aladdin, the Genesis version. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I made a screenshot of that, but I guess I forgot. But yeah, they do mention Mean Bean Machine. But what in 1 year? Sonic Chaos, Sonic Spinball, Sonic CD, Robotnik Mean Bean Machine? Wow, what a luxury compared to the 5 years of nothing we had now. Oh, okay, Team Sonic Racing. Although Team Sonic Racing still qualifies as nothing, so...
Well, hey, at least there's still Sonic, Sonic Speed Simulator or whatever on Roblox.
Fair enough.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
We shouldn't complain too much. I mean, if you're a Mega Man fan, you're even worse waters now. What is Captain? You wanted to say something about Roblox?
yeah, so it's Saturday, so that means there's a new update. And there's a chemical plant has been released, as well as a new costume for Sonic called Stealth Suit Sonic, which looks very interesting. It's black and blue, and he's just got a scouter for some reason.
Oh yeah, I think I just recently saw a post of that. Apparently, Nibrak Rock helped out with designing the costume, and he's a guy that's pretty famous for doing a lot of well-made 3D Sonic renders, and even helped out with Archie Sonic covers for a while.
That's kind of cool.
Pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah, that guy does good work.
Oh yeah, he's really good with designing the models.
There we go. Okay, let's go to the next comic. The actual Christmas
Yeah.
one, even though the last one already teased that.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas theme, and yet it's not December, so we'll just call it a Christmas in July special.
Fair enough, why not? Or should we save it until we have a Christmas Dissected again?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
We'll forget by then.
Probably.
Yeah, well, probably.
Anyone want to do a synopsis, or is it my turn?
What about
No,
Ewan? You want to do it one, Ewan?
Yeah, Ewan.
Well, I'll give it a small go. So, Sonic pretty much turns up and sees like everyone's been getting Christmas presents from Robotnik, and he doesn't believe that, and he just goes off and he finds like it's true. Like Robotnik is basically giving all the woodland creatures like presents, being all sort of like "Merry Christmas, little ones, ho ho ho," and Sonic still has a bit of doubt, but then he kind of decides to like maybe give the guy a chance. Although in like the second page, you can obviously see like all is not as it seems, especially with like that sort of dark, sort of cool looking shot of Robotnik in the shadows with minimal lighting, being like, not so fast, little one. Wait until you see that big kaboom. So during like a Christmas party, like a drunk sort of a SWAT bot basically tells Sonic like that Robotnik is a fake and he's going to explode as he's got a bomb in him, and so Sonic quickly grabs the fake Robotnik and basically throws him off a cliff into the sea with a massive kaboom, getting like just Sonic and then Tails just like wet in the process. But they return back saying like, hey, we're all fine and dandy, and they continue having their party, with Robotnik being obviously very grumpy about once again failing. But of course his SWAT bots come in and give him a Christmas present, which is a egg cup chair, and as a thank you he decides to give them a double shift over Christmas.
Of course.
I just have the really disturbing image of Sonic chucking a disfigured Robotnik robot screaming with its brain on fire into the sea.
It's a very dark comic, especially since he's not even evil. He's just begging, well, what are you doing? Help me.
Yeah.
Sonic
Off the
says,
kitchen,
"Oh,
no."
die, Fatso! Sonic's really evil in this one.
Yeah, only I can be the fat one on Mobius.
It makes me wonder if Robotnik actually programmed this Eggman robot to be nice.
Yeah,
Because,
apparently
like,
so.
It never does anything bad.
No, even though it does look angry while it's being picked up, but
It also
Yeah.
has to be programmed to feel pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always creepy.
So I feel kind of bad for that robot.
Yeah.
I do like the joke of Robotnik saying he prefers Easter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Eggman, of course. Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird to see those more dramatic, evil-looking robots that only showed up in a very serious, well-drawn Sonic comics, and now show up in the more derpy-looking ones, all being drunk. It's kind of like it's its own parody or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those more sinister robots. I think they're supposed to be called troopers or something, but...
Yeah.
They
I
look
just
pretty
call
awesome.
them SWAT bots.
Yeah, they look cool.
SWAT bots for the time being.
And I'm still
But it's
surprised
also- Yeah.
so much screen time Sally keeps getting. I was kind of expecting her to
Yeah.
immediately disappear very soon, but...
Nah, she'll still be hanging around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, just more of a background character, I assume.
Yeah. The one thing though is like, I suppose kind of surprises me a bit, I suppose. But then again, why should I be? Considering how much violence we've been getting in this comic, but also like now getting a character that's drunk.
Yeah.
Buy high-octane oil, so it's not
Yeah.
alcohol.
Weirdly enough, like, why was that robot even there?
Yeah, he just randomly shows up.
Well,
If he wasn't there-
Robotnik causes there, so why not his robot elves?
Well,
Oh,
I suppose.
fair enough.
I mean, in the first
yeah,
page, there was one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, helping distribute the presents. But
All
that's
right,
the thing
fair
I'm-
enough.
But that's the thing I'm
But,
kind of
like-
surprised by, though, is like all the presents are like legit presents and not like knockoffs or something that could potentially kill people.
Oh yeah, knockoff toys. Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe that happened off screen. Man, this artist really loves showing Robotnik having very loose lips, where you can also see the underside of the
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Creepy
really
looking.
creepy.
And also sticking his tongue out.
Oh yeah, sticks
Yeah.
his tongue out, especially at
Yeah,
the
like-
end where he has this like derpy looking look on him.
Nah, because I mean, looking at the second page where he's like in the sort of dark with minimal lighting on him, and I'm just seeing him with his tongue out. It's like, what's that?
Yeah, what's that? Someone needs to bring
What's
that back.
up?
He also kind of resembles Robo Robotnik in a way.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
silhouette. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. Yeah, of course, depends on which Robo Robotnik you mean.
Yeah.
The one that looks like where he's all dark looking.
Yeah. Well, I was saying like which Robo Robotnik exactly, since there's two different versions. One from the Terminator version and one that became the more modern Robotnik.
Well,
Yeah, I think
let's
it's-
not get too deep into that.
Yeah.
Because this stream is gonna get very long. Anyway, yeah, apparently Sonic 3 is already in production. Man, Sonic CD's barely out, and there's already news about the next Sonic game. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Different times.
And of course, being the older sort of screenshots, because it's the Sonic 2 model that's being used, as opposed to the third one.
Yeah, and Hydrocity or Hydro-City or whatever you pronounce it, having a forest as a background. So it is kind of cool to see those beta views. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
Okay, and so instead of a different Sega character having its own spin-off, now Tails is getting his own spin-off comic for 2 issues.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
that's
the
true.
this is the first time we get a Fleetway Sonic story where there's 2 Sonic themed stories.
Yep. Luke, you want to do the honors?
Okay, basically it starts off with Tails trying to chase Sonic, who doesn't want to wait up for him, and Tails is a bit sad that he keeps getting left out, but then there's this weird portal appearing with these people that seem to know him, but he steps through and ends up in this magical world with all these foxes who happen to know him, and basically they need his help because they read his letters, which Tails kind of exaggerated a bit, saying how brave and heroic he was, but apparently they're being invaded by this ruthless warrior who challenges their greatest warrior. So Tails is chosen as their champion to put on the armor and challenge him at the back. I mean, I like the bad guy here because he looks like straight out of a Lord of the Rings movie who wants to destroy the champion of the foxes.
Annihilate him!
Yeah, because that's the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Waiting at the bridge.
Really awesome looking design, yeah. Except all the Tails guys look kind of derpy with Tails' face put on a...
Yeah, and also using the same design as Tails' face.
Yeah, before there was Ken Penders, there was this.
This is a little better looking. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it's kind of amusing.
Okay.
And the fact
Yeah, these
like,
characters
you
look
could easily
way
tell-
more different than Ken
Yeah.
Penders' Knuckles
Yeah.
plan.
And of course, to be fair, there really haven't been that many Fox-themed characters, or at least Fox characters in any Sonic media. Most I can think of is RG Sonic, but everywhere else, nope.
Yeah, we never really go into Tails' backstory, where he comes from. And even this comic doesn't really, because they're not family of Tails, they're just random other dimension guys or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. I can only assume that he actually originally came from there, and then he just somehow got booted out, because when he saw the portal show up, he automatically knew what it was, even though
Yeah.
that was, like, never established.
And that's the typical thing with Fleetway, it's just like with Sonic and the Omniviewer, where it's like, oh, guys, let me introduce you to this god I'm friends with. It's like, oh, okay. Apparently Sonic is hanging out with a god, why not? And then now Tails come from a different dimension. Yeah, Fleetway's not very good at world building now.
Yeah, like he has his connection with these mystical people and sending them letters saying like, "Oh, I'm a big hero. Yeah, I'm all that."
Just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, oh, yeah.
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 I am the great and powerful Tails.
Oh, well. But yeah, cliffhanger, so I guess we'll get back to that later. Next. Yeah, Captain?
I do like the art style in this particular comic. Sonic and Tails look pretty good.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's nice details. It's fitting with the whole like fantasy Dark Ages theme.
I always seem to like the armor that he wears. Kind of bums me out a bit that we never got anything like that in the game. You know, with Tails wearing that sort of armor. Then again, I was young back then, so obviously, and I never owned a Mega Drive console or anything like that for a long time, so I never knew if this was actually in game or not.
No, I mean, he didn't got to wear armor in Sonic the Black Knight. He was just a blacksmith.
Yeah, he was just a blacksmith. That's kind of sad, but
I just kind of imagine him being like Patsy to Sonic's Arthur.
Hey, I come
He
to
just, he just tries behind him banging coconuts.
Absolutely.
But where'd they get the coconuts?
Yeah.
From Sora.
Yeah, well, how can a swallow carry 2 coconuts?
Or you just think they migrate?
African or
African
European swallow?
African swallows are non-migratory.
Speaking of medieval times, good old Monty Python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be proper nerds unless we can quote that movie. So, now for the scariest of all comics, Sonic the Human. Oh my. It's kind of funny how many of the Sonic typical fan art stuff already originated here early in the 90s in the Fleetway comic, including like versions of the characters.
Before Sonic 06 gave us Sonic Man, there was this guy.
Sonic Boy.
Sonic Boy.
Sonic Boy, yeah. So, anyone wants to do this one? Or is it...
Yeah, I guess I'll take it. So, Sonic is fighting the Death Egg robot and he's about to get stomped on when he suddenly wakes up, but he's a human! Oh my god! He doesn't, understand, because he was pretty sure his dream was real. And his mom calls him down. His name is Aaron. And,
Aaron Weber?
yeah, no. Spells it E-R-I-N.
What a shame.
Yeah.
And he needs to eat breakfast, and it's an egg, and the egg starts making him hallucinate. So he runs out of the house, and he sees what he thinks is Tails, and he goes to try and save him from whatever, and he just cartwheels into the fence and hits his head. And then when he wakes up, his mom has tucked him into bed so tightly that he can't move, and she starts trying to force feed him to eat the egg. And then he wakes up and he's actually Sonic the Hedgehog. And he was just in some mind control device. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is a weird story.
It's more a horror
so
story.
Weird. Yeah.
Especially with a creepy looking egg at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You Brits, you're crazy. Look,
Yes.
you're responsible for this, you Brit.
Yeah, this is quite an interesting story. I mean, it's been done a few times in other forms of media. I mean, one I could think of is this one Red Dwarf episode where the boys and the boys from the dwarf think that all their adventures were in some kind of simulation, and they ended up in this. All had these crummy identities and these crummy lives, but all it turns out to just be an hallucination from meeting the spare squid. But I do like this kind of trope where they think that they're actually from another world, but actually it's not. It's all just a hypnotic simulation or something.
Fair enough. The old Lotus Eater or whatever that trope is called. Classic. Yeah, anyone wants to say anything about this creepy comic, or should we just move on?
It's definitely creepy, especially the woman's trying to force the kid Sonic to eat the egg, and she's pretty much all like, "Eat your fucking egg, you spike ball!"
That's a good one.
Thanks. It's just
Oh my.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
I made your favourite!
But yeah, pretty awesome art style.
Okay.
That was something. No, this is the comic where a Mean Bean Machine was mentioned. Like I knew I made a screenshot. But yeah, so Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine was released around this time. So I guess but the cartoon was only announced last week, or last comic. So they came up with a game based on
All
TV
these
show.
issues are released like 2 weeks apart from each other, and that one was like months ago from this issue.
Oh, fair enough. So I guess the show has already been going on for a while. But yeah, so apparently Mean Bean Machine got out and it got 80%. Man, all the Sonic games score high.
Yeah, Mean Bean Machine, aka the first Puyo Puyo game.
Yeah, of course you have to make your reference. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people don't know that this game is just a reskin of the first Puyo Puyo game. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's already common knowledge, just like Mario 2. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we're back with our amazing Tails story, the final Fleetway story we'll be addressing this stream.
Oh, okay. Basically, Tails is challenged to fight the villainous Trog on the bridge of the dimensional bridge between worlds or something, and
The Monty Python bridge where you have to answer questions.
the bridge of death.
Yeah. What is your name?
So,
What is your favorite color? Okay, I'm done.
yeah, basically you have a bit of a fight, but basically they cut the bridge like in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but Tails uses his wings to fly above Trog, cut the rope, and send him plummeting to his doom. So they all celebrate, and at the end, Tails is allowed to go home and lose his armor, and Sonic is like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to?" And Tails says, "Oh, I haven't been much. I'm just standing around doing sod all." The end.
What an empty ending.
Yeah.
Kind of noticeable. Yeah, go ahead.
I like how while the portal is closing, they say like, "Oh, you got to get back to Mobius, or you might be stuck in the nameless zone forever." And then like one panel later, they're like, "Yeah, we might call him back sometime."
Yeah, like, well done, Tails. Your job is done. You can go home now. On second thought.
That's a good point. Yeah, they immediately contradict each other. Guess they were just kind of scaring him. Like, look, we don't actually want to hang out with you, okay? We just wanted you to do our dirty job and just get out of here.
Yeah, we just want you to beat up the
Get
troll.
paid for it.
We're not gonna give you a feast or anything, little punk. You pixel brain. Everyone hates Tails in this universe. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, get out of here, Tails. We just wanted you to beat up the troll so that we don't have to pay his toll bridge or anything.
Pretty much. Poor Tails. Doesn't get respect even in his own story. Alright, so that was Tails' big solo adventure. Also noticeable at the end of this Sonic issue, we see a female version of Sonic. Like I said, I want to show off every single time a fetish shows up for the first time, because, man, I'm surprised how many fetishes show up in Fleetway. So here you go, the first time a Sonic character was sex changed.
Apparently, I think it's supposed to be established as a sister of Sonic.
Oh, okay.
It's Sister Sonic, yeah. Yeah, either it's Sonya or that other one.
I like the artwork of skiing Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The head.
It almost kind of looks like Ewan in a way, just painted blue. Like very early Ewan.
Because kinda.
Apparently he was very cold that day during skiing.
I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah,
Such a weird piece of fan art. I love it.
So do I.
But yeah, there's female Sonic. Yeah, the first Sonya female whatever. Like I know there's Sonya, then there's like female gender bend versions or whatever.
Yep, got all that stuff. Wow, this is going to be a long stream, because now we have to go into Sonic X. Or is it getting late
yes.
for Luke? Luke, how are you?
Yes, I've specifically asked to recap episode 33, taking a page out of Ewan's book by typing out what I would say in the recap, because so I could be like the audio book guy as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, looking forward to that. But yeah, Sonic X, the first half of Sonic Adventure 2's adaptation. Luke, go ahead.
Okay, episode 33, the beginning of the Sonic Adventure 2 arc. In this episode, we see the aftermath of the flooded station square, which we have not seen in the Sonic Adventure game. The flood is gone, but there are still ruined buildings, people who are now injured, starving, and homeless, and Sonic managed to find a lost child. He also found Bukun, who had a go at him, telling him to piss off. Chris, Cream, and Chocola have to move with his family into the city while the mansion is being deflooded. Chris is sad that his boyfriend Sonic is not with him. Meanwhile, whilst being bored, the president approves of Gun to create robots to combat Eggman's forces, which explain their existence in Sonic Adventure 2. Eggman, pissed off that he's not the only robot engineer in town, decides to hack into their system to spy on them. Apart from finding rouge porn and brownie recipes, Eggman finds a long-lost secured file about his granddad, Gerald Robotnik, and his secret project about the ultimate life form. Eggman manages to hack the system using a funny animation that looks similar to his classic look. He discovers a diary entry about the ultimate life form, which is just the same diary entry over and over. After not being involved in the Chaos incident, as they weren't in the original game, Rouge and Topaz decide to go on a heist to steal the Master Emerald. This gets Rouge into a fight with Knuckles, who didn't know he was fighting a woman, and she flies off. Topaz managed to find a Chaos Emerald in her shoe. Mr. Stewart pretends to be a director and interviews the female reporter about the Shadow Project and produces a file which has the Shadow Project in huge letters on the front. And this file was hidden for over 50 years? Chris, still moping about Sonic, gets some advice from Uncle Chuck, saying he should grow a pair of balls and visualize Amy hoovering the floor. Eggman, with the help of Deco and Boko, break into Prison Island. Sadly, not in his Egg Walker as seen in the game, probably as it's easier to depict him in his Eggmobile. We see him kicking robot arse and he reaches the secret cryogenic chamber. Eggman puts in a Chaos Emerald he somehow has and now fully restored after being drained by Chaos. The ultimate life form awakens after 50 years of slumber, and it turns out to be none other than Walt Disney.
That'd be funny if he was locked there. Did you kill all the Jews yet?
No, well, good night.
Put me back in.
Okay. Well done. Let's all give an applause to Luke.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, like you said, it's super awesome to actually see the aftermath of Sonic Adventure and actually Sonic helping out, because that was always like a joke or an irritation for me where everyone's like, everything is end well, and they just leave everyone in their rooms.
It's all still flooded.
Yeah. To just leave everyone to their dooms. Like, well, our work is done. Bye. But no, Sonic actually helps out. So that was appreciated. I like seeing little bits of... Yeah, go ahead.
So it's kind of weird. So, like, a few things about this. One is, like, because Chris's home got flooded, he's moving to a new apartment, and Cream is going with him for some reason, but nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, you figured, like, in Amy's apartment, you'd think she'd be fine there, but I don't know.
Yeah. But also, in the new apartment, they still have Chuck's giant freaking machine that's attached to the ceiling. So I feel really bad for the movers who had to move and install the giant useless machine.
What did it even do?
Yeah, they took the freaking garage and just plopped it on top of the ceiling. Or
Is it like a coffee machine or something?
Yeah, and I was already making jokes about poor Danny and Francis having very little screen time, where I was wondering why they were so prominent with promotion and all that, because I think they had like 5 lines in total. But now we're already introduced to a new school friend in Sonic and Chris's music class. It's like, wow, that was a waste.
Oh yeah, that new character.
The next episode, he gets the new school friend. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the new friend that's barely gonna get screen time. Yeah, that made me laugh. But yeah,
I'm not sure if it's really explained much. I think like why they moved the city for a while is because the mansion's damaged. They're busy trying to fix it up, so he has to live in the city for a while or something. I can't remember if they did explain that or not.
Yeah, it's so stupid. I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 is already such a big epic story, and then you're gonna waste your first episode just like, here's the Chris is going to move to a new place story arc where he's whining about Sonic again. Like, don't we have like Sonic Adventure stuff to get to?
Yeah, that always annoyed me. Like, he's in the apartment and has, the maid and the butler and Cream, and yet he's still mobile. Like, I miss Sonic. And I was just kind of like, fuck you, Chris. Like, at least you have Cream. At least she's always, that ray of sunshine. I'd be in your place any day. Just, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would be so angry as Sonic's friend because he always gets ignored. It's always Sonic. It's like nobody cares about everyone else. I mean, poor Cream. He's so nice and upbeat, and nobody likes him.
I feel like that's the only time I'd wish I would be in Chris's place, just just be with Cream. If I'm just having a bad day, she's there, just to help cheer me up, like the nice little gal she is. Yeah.
But he doesn't care.
It's-
Because Sonic is his one true love. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
And speaking of things developing in the story that aren't Sonic Adventure, Sam Speed is now the driver of Cadillac 1, which makes him technically a member of the Secret Service. And this seems like a really weird decision because of Sam's reputation as a speed demon. Why is he driving the most important car in the country?
It might explain why the president's car is a bit on the fast side in those car chase stages.
Oh yeah.
Sonic Adventure. Sam was driving it the whole time. That explains everything.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's like, oh, we need a new driver. Like, oh, okay, let's just pick out this guy who just is a speed demon, not to mention the fact that he sucks at being a police cop.
Yep.
Then again, I guess Station Square doesn't need policing at the moment since there's barely any Station Square now. But yeah, it did kind of amuse me that it gives this whole origin story to the president's limo. Like, oh, that's the details of Sonic Adventure 2 story we really need to explain to get a prequel. Like, how did the president possibly get a limousine?
It's on the president, bitch.
Speaking of the president, there was a scene where like he looks really bored when he's signing all these documents. He doesn't really care what he's signing, and I can imagine that he might accidentally sign a document that involves nuking another country.
It could have been easily, yeah.
Oh, we gotta blow up the Netherlands. Oh, whatever. Okay. Whee!
Hey!
Nuke China?
Sorry.
Okay.
We're so tiny you miss your target anyway.
It just lands in the ocean.
Pretty much.
Okay, so, but yeah, this is the start of the Sonic Adventure 2 story, so there is some important developments in here, like, Eggman discovering Professor Gerald's journal, which means, like, because obviously Professor Gerald was from this world, Eggman was born in this world, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't think it's ever explained how he got to Sonic's world.
Yeah, I can only imagine this was the reason why Takashi Iizuka stuck to that whole retcon of like, oh, the humans and animals live in different universes. Yeah, but although I think nowadays that's been retconned back to what it was originally.
I mean, it's easy to write an explanation. I mean, if Eggman's parents were also constantly doing the same kind of stuff, then maybe they were playing with Chaos Emeralds and therefore warped to Sonic's universe. Maybe Robotnik was just too young to remember. So any decent writer can come up with a decent enough explanation. But yeah, Sonic X is not going to give it to us, so...
or maybe Robotnik's parents just sucked at parenting, and he just shows like Baby Robotnik playing with a Chaos Emerald, like, oh yeah, that's nice, just don't draw on the walls, and then the Chaos Control happens, and then he's in Sonic's world.
And the parents were like, yay! We didn't want to have a kid anyway.
Oh, like in the movie, was in an orphanage.
Pretty much. Oh, wow.
I thought it was funny when Eggman was trying to hack into the system. His first guess for what Gerald's password was Eggman.
Yeah, as if like Gerald would even know what a freaking Eggman is. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, so his second guess was Robotnik. Wouldn't that also be stupid? It's like Gerald Robotnik's password is Robotnik. But then we realized that his actual password is Maria, and somehow nobody has figured out what his password is before. When, like, all of his diary entries are, like, obsessed with his granddaughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Gun is very stupid, we know that.
When I was watching the Japanese one, Gerald's diary entry was translated, which was repeated over and over, and it was quite funny to read if you freeze frame it, and it goes like, I discovered the ultimate life form, for Christ's sake!
Yeah, that is so
had,
weird.
Like, very naughty words in that, yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. In the Japanese version, like, Gerald's diary is all fully translated in English, which, of course, in the English dub, that was censored out. Like, okay, I can understand the censoring words, but regular text? I mean, come on.
To make it more for the international market, yeah. But yeah, it's fun to watch it in the Japanese version, especially since he had a bit of a potty mouth. Well, not too bad, but, you know.
Well, he's an old man, so...
I'm not blaming him, I have a potty mouth.
Hey, Roger, I don't suppose you have a screenshot of the Project Shadow notebook that Franklin gave to Scarlett Garcia?
No, sorry.
Yeah, because basically it's just a big book with just the Shadow Project written on the front of it.
Yeah.
What I noticed about it is how poorly they they did it, because like it's supposed to look like it has a black outline, but what they did was they just wrote Project Shadow in dark gray and then wrote Project Shadow in black under it and increased the font size slightly.
Yeah, because in the Japanese version there was more to that title. It was like the secrets of the Project Shadow or something.
I'm looking forward. When does it happen? At the News Corporation or when they're at the military?
Yeah.
base?
No, when Chalkboard Charlie is talking to Scarlett Garcia.
Yeah, now going under the name Franklin or something. I can't remember.
Franklin, yep.
Yeah.
But it's so random because isn't Stewart already working for the government? So then he hires a journalist to break into the same government he's already working for? I mean, I guess it'll get explained later, but right now I'm kind of...
I think he's pretending to be a director of like a TV studio so he could work with the reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about with her father or something originally.
Yeah, there was
out the project.
Yeah,
but then apparently he got snuffed.
Yeah, it's briefly mentioned somewhere that Scarlett Garcia's father was trying to research on the story, but passed away due to... I don't know, I'm sure it'll be explained later on, but yeah.
Yeah, I know that part, but I just don't get why Stewart is there. But,
I think what... Because, like, they did mention that, like, nobody else could figure out Gerald's files. Because, they couldn't crack the so hard password. So, they're hiring Scarlett Garcia because she's really good at journalism.
Is this
so
the
maybe
screenshot you were looking for? Or it might be delayed.
Yes. Yeah. There it is. It's so lazily done. It's
like
not
something...
a proper outline at all.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like I designed it, yeah.
It's so weird. Like, you think it would just be left blank like they usually do in the English dub, but no, it's just poorly edited into this
thing. Yeah, it's a terrible drop shadow effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
It's really... They did just write the words twice and increase the font size on one of them.
Yeah,
so thank you, Sylvia, for finding the screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I guess Scarlett Garcia's just like better investigating than government agents are. So they need her to recover their lost data or something.
I actually have the wrong screenshot up, sorry. I had to
You do, yes.
Yeah, you have the Japanese version up on
Now
screen.
it's a good one. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, so now the chat can see what I'm talking about with the poor editing.
Now we can compare the two.
Yeah.
But okay, what are we talking about?
So one thing I would like to say, like the whole infiltration at Prison Island, like, well, first of all, it's kind of weird that it's shaped like a skull for some reason, unlike in the game where it was like this massive island. Yeah. But yeah, them breaking into Skull
Island?
Yeah, Skull Island. Sure, we'll just go with that. So Eggman breaks into Skull Island.
Talk about King Kong again.
Yeah, so he goes to try and find Gerald's diary, and Deco and Boko are like willing to go with him, even though Robotnik's like, "Oh, yeah, you guys are worthless, whatever." But they go with him anyway. So it is kind of sad we don't see the Egg Walker here, but it is surprising just how fully equipped that egg capsule is with the shooting off missiles and lasers and everything. Yeah,
I love that scene so much. Robotnik is awesome. He's just blowing things up and laughing like an insane maniac. Boom!
Yeah.
Like, this is the Robotnik I know and love. This is great. I wish he did more stuff like this. He's just cackling like insane.
Yeah.
Especially since he's so angry that the gun soldiers like stole his robot designs. So this is his little petty revenge. Oh, I love this scene so much. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I find it weird just how like absolutely huge the gun's hunters are. Like the laser hunter is just absolutely towers over everybody.
Yeah, Transformer size pretty much.
But also I did like the moment of like Deco and Boko let their guards down because they think all of the robots are gone. But like Eggman knows that there's one hiding up ahead. It's a brief moment of Eggman being smart again, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is an awesome moment for Robotnik fans. It's awesome. But then again, this level in Sonic Adventure 2 story is also one of my favorite Eggman moments anyway. I'm just laughing with the metal music playing and explosions everywhere. Like,
and him just laughing his head off.
Just
kicking lots of robot ass, yeah.
And then, of course, Deco and Boko are willing to help him out, even if all they're wearing are just those little hard hats. Yeah.
I love that when there's pathetic robots help out. I wish Orbit and Cuba had scenes like that.
Yeah.
Luke, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think I pretty much covered it all.
There we go. Captain, sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, no, it's just, I was also going to say Iron Gate is one of my favorite levels in Sonic Adventure 2.
There you go. Also, I have Yeah, sorry.
I am sad we don't see the Eggwalker in the show, but, like, whatever. The Sonic X Eggmobile is plenty capable as a battle droid, so...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, even the next episode, because Stills does use the Walker. I mean, he's used it in one shot, but then it's gone again. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Especially since the show is such an obsession with anime tech, so you'd think they really like focus on that because they love showing off tech in this show, but no. It's kind of weird.
Oh, no, actually, there's one thing I can think of is like when Knuckles was fighting Rouge, and when she took her mask off, it turns out he realised, wait, I'm fighting a woman? And I feel like, so when you had the mask, you didn't notice that she had a bit of a feminine figure and probably noticed her female makeup eyes.
Yeah, it's making more sense to mess around with, I guess.
Oh man, that scene with Rouge, that was so weird. Like, they go on to, like, Angel Island or so to get the Master Emerald to, like, try and persuade Robotnik so that they can get intel on the Gerald's diary and whatnot. So, they get to the island, we see Rouge is just floating there like she's on wires and not moving her wings. But when she's carrying the Master Emerald, now she starts flying and flapping her wings. Like, what the hell?
It's kind of weird how anime always have trouble like that. Same that Knuckles is often very flying and floating in the background. Like, they just can't be bothered. Oh, well.
Yeah.
But what I love... Sorry, Ewan, yeah?
I was... Sorry, it was just like I was mentioning about with the island, because for some reason, like, whilst Melting Man sees it as like a skull, but for me, I just look at it, it's like it's an upside down guitar.
Yeah, I can see it like that. Yeah,
I mean, it definitely looks more like an acoustic guitar than a skull.
Yeah. And I think even IDW made some sort of reference towards it because of the Everhold prison, as it's called, which is shaped like a guitar. So I'm just wondering if like that's like a nod towards, Prison Island and Sonic X.
Oh yeah. No, sure.
Maybe that's how the actual Alcatraz looks like. I'm not sure. One thing I wanted to bring up about this Knuckles or Rouge fight, what amused me, is that Knuckles is punching Rouge in the face right in the middle of a fight. And that's the moment where Topaz suddenly goes, "Hey, Rouge, I found a Gale's Emerald." Like, she's been in the middle of a fight, you stupid...
It's basically just found a Gale's Emerald just happened to be lying around.
It's also funny, yeah.
Yeah, that's Sonic X for you.
You got like, oh, I found a penny.
Reminds you of Naked Gun, when he finds a penny in the middle of a
what do you know? A Chaos Emerald.
Yeah.
Darn things are everywhere. But yeah, just amusing that she's like yelling at Rouge like a child, like, "Oh, look what I found," while she's in the middle of a big fight.
Yeah. Oh, what a coinky ding! I found this emerald in the dumpster.
Oh well.
I do like so. I'm assuming in the Japanese version that's where Knuckles says, "Oh, Rouge is a woman."
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah. In the English dub, he just says, "You're that bad."
Yeah, like Knuckles immediately recognizes him, recognizes Rouge because they met before. But in the Japanese version, it's just, "Oh, you're a woman." It's like, dude, you've met this girl before.
Yeah. So I guess that's another small change that they're in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far there's not many noticeable changes between the Japanese and English dubs.
Well, there is a big one in the next episode, but then we'll talk about that.
I guess one other thing I felt like, one thing we forgot to bring up was the whole bit where Sonic rescues Bo-Kun from under the rubble, and Bo-Kun's like, "Oh, just because you saved me doesn't mean I'm gonna thank you, BMD." So it just ends like that. But funny enough, in the Japanese version, there's an additional scene where we see Jerome, the guy who became a hobo, he's like rummaging through the trash and sees Bo-Kun. He's like, "Oh, sorry, were you using this?" And just Bo-Kun just yells at him and he runs away.
Yeah, it's really weird how the American version eliminates everything about the President's aid.
Yeah, like they eliminate that, and I think I also hear they eliminate a lot of cameos and appearances of Big the Cat. So like in the English dub, like we don't see him anymore.
I don't recall seeing Big the Cat. Maybe I didn't pay close enough attention.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I think it was in a flashback scene where, like, Chuck was talking to Chris, like, oh, about Sonic's friends, they came to our world and they're making the best of it. And we see how they're getting along, like, oh, Amy's vacuuming creams at the TV screen. And in the Japanese version, there's a scene where Big is fishing, which, of course, was cut from the English dub. Maybe for timing, I don't know.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Sonic X is Sonic Adventure 2, and the 4Kids dub is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because they're just removing big cameos.
Well, that's weird, because like, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, that's, like, the version I've played, and I've never come across any, like, Big the Cat cameos anywhere. Is there, like, a special code I gotta type in to see them or whatever?
In a cutscene, you press A.
Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, Sonic Adventure 2 removed the Big the Cat, or Battle removed the Big the Cat cameos. Most of them, anyway. There's still a couple.
Yeah, I think the one where he's running for the gun truck is still there.
No, that one is removed from Battle.
Yeah, funniest cameo.
One of the ones that's left in is the cutscene in the last story where, like, Amy finds Shadow alone. She, like, turns around randomly and talks to nobody. If you press A during that part, Big the Cat walks in front of her, and that's still in Battle.
Yep, secret code indeed. So yeah, that's always fun. I never got why they removed those cameos. It was fun. I wish there was more sometimes did that. Okay, shall we move to the next episode?
Yep. So now the story of Sonic Adventure 2 is well underway. It starts off with Sigma Alpha 2 taking Sonic to prison. This time, Sigma Alpha 2 is a Chinook instead of an Apache helicopter. But Sonic, of course, breaks out, rips off a piece of it, uses it as a snowboard, just long enough to land, and then runs away.
Yeah.
In their pursuit of trying to catch Sonic again, the gun robots just absolutely destroy everything. Like, Gun is just as destructive as Eggman.
I love it. It's a shame the gun truck doesn't show up, but the way how their lasers just blow up cars and buildings makes up for it. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, like, Shadow is obviously causing problems, stealing Chaos Emeralds and stuff, and, like, camera footage, everyone assumes it's Sonic because he looks so much like Sonic. And what's funny is, like, when Shadow is on screen at first, like, they partially put a gradient over Shadow so you can't see his face as clearly, because obviously that's the part that wouldn't give it away that he's not Sonic.
Yeah, but
the audience has no idea that this guy with rocket skates is not Sonic.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, if they just left him as, like, a solid silhouette, then it would work, but the harsh, like, tone there is like, no, like, we can still tell that's not obviously Sonic.
Yeah, that was so frustrating, because with the games, they can assume, like, they have to be very economic with the cutscenes, so they can't do any fancy effects, but here in the anime, they can actually do special effects to show why people don't get a good look on Shadow. But no, they give him a big close-up right on television, so there's no excuse. But yeah, sorry, Captain, go on.
Sonic is now a wanted fugitive, and his reputation is tarnished. There's a scene where there's a whole bunch of hobos, including the president's former aide, talking about it, and one of these hobos is strangely defensive of Sonic. He is positive that Sonic would never do something like that, which is weird. And then Sonic just happens to run by them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Chalkboard Charlie, I guess, is what we should call Mr. Stewart now, because he's going by Francis. Takes Scarlet Garcia to Prison Island, and Scarlet Garcia is now officially the first person to actually be suspicious of him, but, like, that doesn't go anywhere yet. The Prison Island director is asked about Project Shadow, and he says, oh, that's top secret. Also, in unrelated news, this is totally Sonic that's doing all this damage. Like, this guy knows who Shadow is, and is still blaming Sonic.
Well, we're not sure if he knows Sonic, because he said he knew barely anything about Project Shadow. But,
Oh, he said it was top secret.
Oh. Yeah, but I think...
Or at least in the English dub.
Yeah. No, you're right. The president is the one that says they know nothing.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, then Sonic fights the Bigfoot like in the game, and it's over immediately. And then Shadow makes his grand debut, and I'm gonna say it, Jason Griffith at his worst as Shadow is still better than any other Shadow voice actor.
Absolutely.
He's still better than Kirk Thornton, yeah.
He's nailed the role just right off the bat. Well, he didn't nail it right off the bat, but he was really good right off the bat, and he only got better.
Yeah.
So, I really love the voice, even though it's a bit different voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got the classic moments of Sonic meeting Shadow for the first time, and Shadow uses Chaos Control to impress Sonic.
Yeah, or in the anime, he calls it, and of course in the anime, he calls it Chaos Control now!
Chaos Control now! Which, obviously that's anime dubbing problems, you gotta match lip flaps, but I feel like they could have stretched it out to make it sound just Chaos Control, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's this weird moment where, Eggman has a flashback to when he first meets Shadow, and it's different from what actually happened.
Yeah, because, Deku and Boko aren't even in the flashback.
and Eggman's reaction is different, and you can see Shadow right away. But whatever. So then all that happens, Sonic gets arrested. Interestingly, the police officer who arrests Sonic has the same voice actor as the gun commander from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, really?
Oh, maybe he just got really promoted after arresting Sonic.
Possible. He looks hateful enough to Hedgehog, so that's kidding. But although the design of the guy is the same from the police officer from the first episode, I think, with the mustache.
Yeah, I think so.
Angry since.
Yeah, mustachio police guy. Yeah.
Also, despite Rouge and Topaz risking their life to find a single Chaos Emerald to use as a bargaining chip for Eggman, Eggman agrees to the meeting before even knowing about the Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, we finally get to see Womanizer Eggman that Sonic Heroes promised us. So, what was that?
No. Sonic Heroes promised us the feminist Eggman.
All right, the Japanese version said Womanizer.
Yeah, Womanizer feminist, yeah.
Oh. Was
Either
feminist
way,
supposed to be a mistranslation?
I guess. Or they didn't know. I don't know. But yeah, we still haven't seen feminist Eggman.
Yeah, I think he just only agreed because he has a nice big ears.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's about the bouquet.
Oh yeah, the bouquet, yeah.
But yeah, this episode really seems to imply he does have the hots for Rouge. That kind of surprised me.
Oh, this is a great episode.
We see Robotnik all charred from Boku delivering the message, which then blows up, which is kind of interesting. In the Japanese version, the Robotnik and the robots just react oh, that's not funny anymore, stop that. But in the English dub, it's just much better, where Robotnik's that's not funny, you idiot!
Yep.
I think it would have been funny if we all sit a bit short of it being blown up. We could have seen maybe Shadow being a bit blown up as well.
Yeah, that would have been funny, but yeah, I guess they really want to play him serious. So.
Well, I guess the charred Shadow just blends in with his fur because he's all black and all.
Yeah.
Chaos controlled out of there because he's just so cool.
Chaos control now. All right, what I miss?
Right, so planning yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I like how Eggman apologizes for his charred appearance because Rouge showed up too quickly. He's I was going to clean up, but
yeah. Mademoiselle. Yeah.
He's so graceful with the ladies. At least in this episode, it never showed up before, but there you go. I guess he's just in a really good mood because he had this big celebration and he actually won once. That was fun.
Yeah.
Man, I really love how Dr. Eggman is in this adaptation. Go ahead, yeah.
I don't think we've found out yet what exactly Rouge's intentions are.
No, they deliberately kept that vague because it kind of focused on a different character while she said her deal.
Because, obviously she's being a double agent, but, what is she gaining out of her deal with Eggman?
Yeah.
Don't know yet?
What does he think she wants?
Well, she did tell him, but we don't, as an audience, we didn't get to hear. So
yeah,
because then we got to a Shadow thinking of Maria. Mm-hmm. So I guess they'll show later. At least I hope so.
Yeah.
Speaking of Shadow thinking of Maria, it's so hilarious because in Sonic Adventure 2, we know that Gerald messed with Shadow's memories to make him think Maria wanted him to avenge her, and so he removed some of her talking, give them a chance to be happy, he took that out. So it just says, "Shadow, please, I beg you, for all the people on that planet."
Kill them all!
And and he assumes that means revenge. But like here in the anime, she's just like smiling the entire time. She's like, "Oh, Shadow."
Oh, Shadow, you're so hot.
Yeah, that made me laugh so hard. You see Marietta smiling and Shadow me like, yes, like we promised. Kill all the
Yeah, you
humans.
also see Shadow smirking a lot as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh my god.
Maria looks kind of creepy, I think. Maybe it's because her forehead is too big or something, or there's something off about it.
Maybe.
Maybe I was too used to the 3D
maybe.
model.
Oh, yeah, the 3D
It could
model
be
was
because
cheap.
they intentionally. It could be because they intentionally designed her face to look like Chris's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that it?
That will come into play the next episode.
Yeah, we'll
geez.
get to that.
Yeah, that kind of makes it worse. Like, okay, which one would it be? I don't know, game model where she looks like a weird knockoff Barbie, or Chris Thorndyke in a dress?
There you go. Poor Maria. Then again, she's just a fragment of someone's imagination, so I guess she's not supposed to be a real character. At least not in the way how we see her here. Anyway, yeah, a bunch of things to say about it. And I'm kind of disappointed how the city escape sequence is very short and it doesn't really translate that energy. I mean,
Yeah, I
City
mean, we
Escape's
don't
such
get
a
the
fun energy to it, and here it's just immediately over. It's not like immediately
we
to
don't
the
even-
sewers.
Yeah, we don't even get the freaking gun truck chasing after him.
Although, yeah, like
Or
I
you
said,
don't see like the bit when Sonic just goes down the street and just crashes into cars.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
it causes a domino effect. Yeah.
at least they make up for it with having the lasers blow up old buildings. And then later the president said, if the lady says, "Oh, nobody got hurt." Not because Gunn did anything to prevent it or anything. They were just lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see, like in the game, you don't see Sonic kicking his way out of the helicopter.
Yeah, they keep that off. Although the sound effects are much more intense this time, where he's actually hearing kick and punch sounds. So I guess he did punch a bunch of humans. Hooray! If you're into that sort of thing. Yeah, a lot of things to talk about. As Chris gets a pointless new friend. Okay, so the big difference between the Japanese version and the English version is that the Japanese play up a weird theme where there's more, I guess, racism going on, where some people are really referring to Sonic as a beast. Like, oh, he's a beast and fit to live in our world. Which is kind of a cool concept because Sonic X up to this point didn't really do anything with the fact that they're aliens in the human world. Everyone just kind of treats him like a rock star. So I kind of like the idea. We're kind of introduced to humans being more like fearful of them, although I don't think they really go anywhere with this. And it's just kind of quickly introduced just to give Gunn more of a motivation to be distrustful of Sonic, I guess. Yeah, they removed that in the American version, so I guess they wanted to clean that up a little bit. But yeah, the secretary is kind of a bitch in the Japanese version.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then Chris's new friend there, who just doesn't get much screen time. Although, judging from his shirt, I think he moved on to not so great things. Ha
All right. But yeah, I gotta love that even Chris is immediately thinks Shadow is Sonic.
Yeah. Anything hedgehog shaped at Chris just looks like Sonic.
But yeah, I'm surprised that the
Let's-
captain did notice that it is actually the president's aide who's the homeless person, because the American version doesn't really put much emphasis on it. Because so far they
Yeah.
removed his entire plot about him being homeless.
Yeah, I think they only mentioned it like once during the Sonic Adventure adaptation, but after that, yeah, it's completely gone in the English dub.
So I'm pretty sure that most people watching only the American version would just assume he's just a random homeless guy, wouldn't even get the connection.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Japanese version, they put more emphasis on it because he keeps bringing up Vivian. That's apparently a running joke, even though I don't even remember who Vivian is. Is that the racist lady?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think that's supposed to be like his girlfriend or something that broke up with him after he was caught for cheating or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was brought up once, but that was this weird running gag.
Yeah, going from, member of the president, now just homeless guy who's constantly stalking Vivian.
Oh well.
Yeah, he was definitely in the English dub of the Sonic Adventure arc.
Yeah, he did make a cameo, but never with any emphasis on it. He just kind of had a quick cameo. With
Well, no, he like said,
Yeah, he
actually said, like, I used to work for the president.
Oh, I did. Okay,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, it's only that one time, yeah.
I guess I was wrong.
So, a detail I just remembered is the Bigfoot fight. I assumed that was also changed in the English dub because everything I've read about that scene says that, like, Sonic defeated it immediately, but, like, and then it fired missiles. In the English dub, he just, like, knocks out a spotlight on it, and then it fires missiles. But,
I don't even have screenshots of that fight so quickly. It was over.
Yeah, it was over immediately. But,
Yeah.
So, like, it just gets, like, absolutely obliterated by its own missiles. And, like, in the game, at least, Bigfoot was a piloted mech. And it still looks like it is here. So, that pilot is definitely dead.
Yeah.
Sonic, I don't. Well, I don't think we actually hear the guy talking from that robot suit in the cartoon, so it could just be a random robot.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, it's, like, still got the cockpit on it.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, even though it's, like, in the games, it's see-throughable, so we can see there's someone in there. But in Sonic X, it's, like, solid, so... I don't know, maybe it's just there for decoration.
It's just got a cockpit seat for no reason.
Yeah, you open it up and there's nothing in it.
What the implication is that Bigfoot and Iron Dog or whatever.
Yeah, the first model is big. Yeah, the first model with the legs, that's Bigfoot. The flying one is Flying Dog.
Flying Dog, yeah. Apparently in Sonic X, those are just robots instead of mechs.
I guess.
But, like, they still have their cockpits.
Did Luke want to say something? Because I thought I heard someone struggling.
Well, I could probably add something about the end where Sonic ends up in his cell, which turns out to be the same cell that Gerald was in. In the game, when you see Sonic's cell, it's just a generic-looking cell. Okay, so it makes sense for the wall to be there. But in the episode, in the Sonic X-verse, the cell that Sonic is in happens to be in an underwater dome. So because, like, Sonic doesn't like water. And I was thinking to myself, what was the point of hanging that wall also there?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. It feels so out of place with the rest.
Yeah, it's so weird. It looks like it was originally from a different cell, and then they just yanked it out and put it in this random spot and filled it with water.
Yeah, the original game, it makes sense because, you know, it's Alcatraz, like an old prison, so it you think Sonic's just put in a random old cell that's been rotting away for a long time. But this feels like modern, and it has a lot of, like, service done to it and very recent, so it's kind of random, this ancient piece just randomly with it.
Yeah.
But, well, we need our foreshadowing, I guess.
But I felt like the concept is good. It's pretty interesting. It looks a very interesting way to contain Sonic, and I felt like this could have been done in Sonic Forces and how they could have imprisoned Sonic.
Yeah, that would have been
cool. But again, the wall looks pretty out of place for it.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't make it in Forces. It didn't have a point. There's one thing I wanted to bring up that I found very funny. Is after the fight with Sonic and Shadow, like, Chris is kind of begging him from, Sonic, you have to surrender yourself. And Sonic then surrenders himself. And then immediately after, Chris is like, oh, I wonder why Sonic surrendered himself. Like, didn't you ask him?
Yeah, why are you crying about it?
Yeah.
Hold on, this whole operation was your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when Sonic agrees to turn himself in, Chris and Mr. Tanaka are like, oh, we'll try and save him anyway. So for some reason, it ends with, like, them dressed up like the main characters from the Green Hornet and then go off in this boat.
Yes. I do like that reference.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, like, when Tanaka explains why they're wearing the outfits. Like, the Japanese dub, they're saying something like, oh, this is something that criminals wear, or something. But in the English dub, it makes more sense, because he says, like, oh, I was inspired by my childhood heroes. Like, okay, that's more makes sense for the reference to the Green Hornet.
I guess so.
Yeah.
By the way, at some point we have just moved on to the next episode, but...
Yeah.
Now the prison shows up on this episode as well. So.
Yeah, it's like near the end of the episode. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I want to do the synopsis for the next episode.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Sonic's just in the cell, he's chilling out, he's like, well, at least I can relax for a while, and of course, Chris and Tanaka, as the Green Hornet duo, try to save him, so they decided, well, this boat is high-tech, so let's go in something that's not high-tech, and he just pulls out this swan boat from, like, vacation spots, and they just paddle their way there, and then the prison sees it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a swan boat, oh, whatever, and then this is when Robotnik's team decides to infiltrate prison island because Rouge says that there are other Chaos Emeralds there. So they go there. Robotnik causes quite the ruckus. Rouge and Shadow go there, and of course Amy has her moment like, "Oh, Sonic, it's you!" And they're like, "Oh wait, you're not Sonic." And then Eggman and Tails have a bit of a dogfight for a while. And eventually Chris and Tanaka get there, and then Chris has to stay behind. But then eventually he's like, "No, screw it, I must do it for my love for Sonic." So lots of stuff happens. Amy breaks Sonic out of prison. Lots of stuff. They set the time bombs off. Sonic and Shadow have their duel. And then when Shadow decides to head back to find Rouge because she got herself trapped with the emeralds, then Chris shows up, tries to grab Shadow, and then they get teleported to the prison island. But yeah, and then it just ends with Shadow deciding to get the Chaos Emeralds and hightail it out of there. And then Chris and Rouge die in the explosion. The end.
Hey!
Oh man.
Yeah.
Didn't want to see like an abridged series yet, but this is like one episode. I bet the abridged is gonna be great because Chris has so many like almost death scenes here. It's awesome.
Yes.
So there's like a there is actually like a video because like when Shadow is there, like the timer reaches 10 seconds left, but like the scene takes way longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah, it takes way too damn long.
Rouge goes on his big speech. Yeah.
Somebody made a video where the bomb actually does go off after 10 seconds, like in the middle of Shadow talking.
Yeah, it's one of those tropes where the timer goes on longer than it should.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's like, I don't care what happens.
Well, he didn't care, so there you go. My favorite scene must be that Chris is halfway through climbing the cliff, and then all of a sudden, like, "No, Chris, stay here. It's safer." So he just hangs halfway through the cliff. Like, why is that the safe spot? That made me laugh so hard.
I just love how batshit insane the warden is, where he just goes on about how cool his security system is. And one of the guys says, "Who are you talking to?"
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I always knew that gun was
He's laughing maniacally all the time.
Yeah.
We always knew that gun was psychopathic. It's nice to actually see it physically happen.
Yeah.
Like, I love this guy. Yes.
I'm sad that the English version didn't have anyone calling him out on his random exposition dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, I love that guy. Yeah, that's the gun I know and love. Just completely psychopathic. Especially the first rant is the best because Sonic isn't doing anything. He's just sitting in the cell and it's like, "Yeah, Sonic, punish! And death! And ah!" Well, Sonic just sits there.
Witness the full power of this operational battle station.
Yeah.
Built by the hands of a genius.
It's awesome. I
So-
love it.
So for the Tails and Eggman fight, the X-Tornado lands, it transforms off screen, and then Eggman takes off, and the X-Tornado transforms back on screen, and then they have their dogfight.
Yeah, that was kind of
so
pointless.
weird.
Also, like, Deco and Boko encourage Eggman to stop fighting Tails because he's got something more important to do, and he does. But before he does that, he stops, turns to Tails, and warns him, like, "I'm leaving now. This does not mean you win, though." But, like,
Yeah.
that was the perfect opportunity for him to kill Tails.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been thinking that
Yeah.
because Eggman doesn't have the Walker thing, I thought like, let's not have the Walker fight anyway.
Even though
Yeah.
Tails does have the Walker, but it only shows up in like 2
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
surprised he hasn't used it.
But
And
yeah.
also, he doesn't go into the base to rescue Sonic.
No, he just stays
No,
out.
it's Amy. Yeah, I guess it just takes him. I guess Robotnik like must have dragged Tails like far away from the island. That's why it took him so long to see him again.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Oh, okay. Also, the crazy warden guy, when they spotted the swan boat coming, in the English dub at least, he orders that it be destroyed because like, oh, you can't trust it. Destroy them first and ask questions later. And then Eggman shows up and starts causing a ruckus. So Eggman technically saved Chris's life right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So weird, because in the Japanese dub, they're just like, "Oh, a swan boat. Should we try and attack it?" Like, no, it looks harmless. And then Robotnik shows up.
So the American version, the cops are smarter, I guess. Or more psychopathically violent.
Well, the
Same
warden
thing.
is psychopathic, so I guess they must have been inspired by him.
I prefer that
I
one.
did. My favorite moment of this episode was definitely Amy rescuing Sonic because she's so adorable the entire time, and I love how like the gold beetle sneaks up on her, and like it's really dramatic. She like turns around and she's like shocked, and then she just smashes it to pieces immediately.
Yeah, Amy's pretty good in the Sonic Avenger adaptations. Wish she was more like.
Oh, I love it. It was so, and of course there was a whole bunch of Sun Amy moments here. So
Yeah,
of course I love that.
Feel like them is a good episode. Yep. Thank goodness that Chris didn't steal that.
Can I add something? I do like the bit where Rouge just goes into a vault to find the emeralds, as opposed to what happens in the actual game, where it's a very stressful. We have a very stressful 10 minutes to get the emeralds in a vault, whilst Eggman yells at you all the time. And also, the timer for that was very more generous, up 30 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, I hated that level from the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst line ever said in the Sonic game. 5 minutes should be plenty. Screw you, Rouge.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh well. I didn't enjoy the level either. Now.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, like when they send out the gold beetles and flying dog. It's like the wardens like have this is like the ultimate weapon. It's been upgraded from the Bigfoot. Nothing can destroy it. And then Rouge just makes short work of it.
Yep, pretty much. Poor gun can catch a break.
I also noticed when Rouge acquires the emeralds, the way she holds it, it seems a bit possessive.
That cannot be a coincidence. That must
she's
very much on purpose.
She's got crystal boobs now.
Maybe she was like on a different set, like feeling for a porno, and then they decided to just recycle that shot and just Photoshop the bra heart plate in there.
Yep, that was definitely a very noticeable shot.
And I've also noticed that I like the game. Instead of Prison Island being a jungle, it's now just woods.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of woods in there. Yeah,
maybe they recycled the backgrounds from a different episode or something.
It does kind of look like they recycle like the backgrounds from like the Sonic Adventure adaptation, like during the Mystic Ruin scenes.
Yeah, and as far as the backgrounds go, they don't really recreate the original locations too much. I mean, I did notice they made the base also look more abstract in one shot. I think I got it somewhere. I kind of like that. I had like cool color shot. I love the backgrounds anyway. They're very colorful. Oh yeah, this shot with shadow. Like this is supposed to be Prison Island too, but it looks very abstract here. Although I love how it looks. It's a pretty good look.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Or is that the museum he stole the emerald in? Now I'm confused. Oh well, I'm ruining that conversation. But yeah, back to Amy being cute and Shadow punching Chris in the face. The best part.
Yeah, 'cause this is definitely around the time when Chris decides to really shoehorn himself into the plot.
Yeah, for most of Sonic Adventure, I was kind of surprised how he mostly just stick with Bake the Cat. It was nice, but yeah, from the last episode from Sonic Adventure 2 till Sonic Adventure 1 till now, he's really obnoxious. Like hijacking the first episode to be about his moving, constantly getting slow scenes of him just going, Sonic, my true love. It's kind of creepy. Like, oh well.
Yeah, especially with that one shot near the end where Chris is like, "No, Shadow, you gotta save us. I mean, Sonic would do the same for you," and then it like fades to like Maria in his place.
Yeah, now that Evil Doc animation makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. Where Shadow suddenly starts fondling Maria, while in real life it's actually Chris.
Oh, jeez, I don't think I've seen much of the Evil Doc stuff. I've seen the one where you guys interviewed Ken Pontek, but yeah, I'm behind with that series.
Fair enough. Yeah, anything else you want to bring up? Yeah, I was wondering if the explosion at the end from Prison Island was kind of recycled for Sonic Adventure 2, because it looks very close to the same. Same, like, weird saturated colors.
Yeah, I have noticed the explosions look very, I don't know, stock realistic or something.
Yeah.
It's not the same footage.
Well, it's not the same footage, obviously, because the backgrounds are 2D.
Yeah.
But the explosion looks very much the same style. Because the Sonic Adventure 2, it also looked kind of off. So that's why it immediately reminded me of it. Maybe I should kind of put them next to each other. Oh well, little thing that I...
Yeah, it's kind of... I feel like the explosion in Sonic X, it feels like the explosion is smaller because, like, it's just mostly the building that blows up and we just see the smoke remains. Unlike in the game where, like, the entire island just completely blows up.
Yeah, I guess so. Then again, I don't know how big the explosion is. Ewan, you want to say something about this episode?
Not sure really. I think most of you guys already said the sort of stuff I would say.
Poor
So you
Ewan.
guys beat me to the punch.
Yeah,
I
we're a
feel so
rowdy bunch.
useless.
Poor Ewan doesn't get a chance. Sorry, you said something?
Aw, poor Ewan.
Curse you all.
Oh.
Well, mostly Roger.
Yeah, I'm in charge, so yeah, I'm the one to blame.
Yes.
I really wish I could find that video of someone editing it so that the bomb explodes after 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If not, then obviously I'm sure someone will be able to recreate that.
Maybe it's taken
Yeah.
from YouTube for copyright reasons. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Always had that problem, I guess.
Yeah, 'cause I know
I've
there
had
was. Oh, go ahead.
I've had a Sonic X video on my channel for several years.
Yeah, kind of weird
Yeah.
how
But-
random that goes.
Yeah, that can be
Anyway,
weird.
and it wasn't even edited. It's literally just like a 2-minute long clip from the show.
Yeah, it's weird how it's handled. Because I know there was like a YouTuber, I can't remember the name, but he did this whole series talking about like all the different like minor or major changes between the English and Japanese dub of Sonic X, and it was maybe like this 6 or 7 part series, editing like showing off the clips and whatnot, and the whole thing just got nuked.
Ouch.
Which is a really a bum.
That is
It's a really a
painful.
bummer.
Yeah, scary thing, copyright system. Wow, this stream is quite big. I think we broke our record.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, I think so.
A new record.
So I guess it's time to wrap up. Anyone else has something to say about this episode? Mr. Tanaka being there, I guess.
Yeah, poor Tanaka. Yeah, losing Chris and whatnot.
He should have been happy. He'd been like, I'm free!
There'll be something if he cheers after Chris. He thinks.
You just had to make that joke when I was taking a sip of water. Thankfully, I was able to keep it all in.
Lucky you. I do have to say, I wish they kind of kept Tails' color scheme for his machines, because during the fight with Robotnik, sometimes I was kind of confused. Like, oh, is Gun helping out with the fight? Oh, no, wait, that's supposed to be Tails. Like, I really wish they kept the blue-orange color scheme from the games. Or the original red one.
Yeah, the blue and yellow one. That's always been my favorite color scheme for the Tornado, and it's a real shame that it's never used anymore. Well, except like that one time in LEGO Dimensions. But yeah, just gotta milk that Genesis nostalgia, and
Yeah, well, besides red, here's just gray, and it kind of makes it just melt together with all the other stuff. Like that's my
the
big
X
complaint about
Tornado.
Sonic X so far. All the mech looks kind of generic, and they kind of remove all the iconic looks from the original.
Yeah, then again, the X Tornado always just looked like a more of a poor man's version of Gundam.
Yeah, it's probably they're too into the Gundam stuff. Also, the music from the American version, like every single time Root shows up, the saxophone, even when Amy looks at her, it's like, are you trying to tell me something, show?
It's kind of like in Sonic Unleashed, where every time you encounter an enemy, a jazz band starts playing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, the English stuff, it's always still that same, That's always why I always like the Japanese version. Like, sure, like, Rouge's theme is still a saxophone thing, but at least it's more quieter, more of a smooth jazz kind of thing, rather than just some guy just blowing his lungs off with the saxophone.
Yeah, I have to say, up till this point, I kind of liked the American soundtrack, but here it started to kind of annoy me. Like, particularly the scene in a couple episodes before when Sonic runs through the destroyed city. Like, it changes mood so often. Like, sad mood because you see the people working with the city, and as Sonic runs in, immediately heroic music, then it becomes sad again, and so you see Sonic and heroic music again. It's like, relax, composer, try to have, like, one mood for this scene.
Yeah, they're trying to edit all the different themes together. Yeah, I guess like that can be a bit annoying in the English dub, where it's like, oh, character shows up, oh, we got to play that theme, and then another, oh, now playing this theme. So it's just constantly switching back and forth for all the different themes. While the Japanese dub is a little more,
Restrained.
I guess, better. Yeah, it's a little more better paced in some ways. Yeah.
Although that said, I do like the American music individually more because it's more energetic themes. Japanese soundtrack is kind of dull, kind of held back.
Yeah. I'm kind of mixed with the English soundtrack. It's like, some themes I like, some I don't like, but
Fair enough.
But of course, when it comes to the actual theme song to the show, yeah, Japanese version all the way.
Oh yes, Absolute Sonic Drive is amazing. Captain, are you sick? Luke was just insulting Sonic Unleashed, and I haven't heard a peep out of you.
Huh.
Oh, sorry. I was actually still looking for the clip of the bomb going off
really
after 10
insulting
seconds.
Wow, you're really
Yeah.
concentrated. We can insult Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah.
They're right in front of you.
He wasn't insulting
I
Unleashed.
wasn't.
He was just talking about the jazz band.
Yeah.
The jazz band that's ever present whenever any enemy shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't. I'm kind of surprised Captain didn't like show up in the chat from like the last live stream when we were like making fun of him with like all the different impersonations we tried to do.
I will still plot for my revenge.
Yeah, greetings, friends. Yeah, it's just a fun voice to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Do we want to wait until the captain finds the video, or shall we call it a day?
No, I probably won't be able to find it. If I find it, I'll link it in the comments.
Fair enough. But yeah, I fear the worst with all the copyright strikes going on.
Yeah.
Oh what can one do?
I don't know. Move to Vidley, I guess.
So, Ewan, final thoughts on these 3 Sonic X episodes?
I suppose the only thing I got from it was like the annoyance of Chris.
Pretty
Well,
much.
especially like, since he keeps saying like just saying Sonic, to me it's almost like I think I can make a drinking game out of that, of how many times he keeps saying Sonic. Sonic,
Ewan, he
take a
doesn't say
drink.
Sonic, he says Sonic.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one true love.
Sonic, my darling.
How many times has Amy said Sonic?
Chris gets
I know.
more romantic scenes with Sonic than Amy, yeah.
Yeah, someone needs to find that out. Like, who says like Sonic the most in Sonic X? Chris or Amy?
It's kind of interesting how they kind of toned down Amy anyway, because in the original game she was like, "Oh, Sonic, you have to marry me at the prison," and then the Japanese version is like, "You have to go on a date with me," and then in the 4 Kids version it's like, "Oh, just do something fun." Like Amy's kind of toning down in each version, while Chris is just getting worse in every version.
I mean, the version's like, hey, let's do whatever. Hey, we'll do whatever.
Amy is starting to manage her expectations.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely better than her game counterpart, especially when in Sonic Heroes it's like, oh, Sonic, there's no way out of marrying me, and then throws him off of a
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
Sonic, you will marry me or you will die.
Death seems more appealing at the moment.
Good times.
Well, this is an easy choice. Bye.
Jeez. Some nice dark humor. Gotta love it.
Naturally.
But yeah, at the very least, my new favorite character, energetic gun guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, the water's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love gun.
Let's hope Sonic the Movie 3 plays up to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did see in the interview they actually brought up Shadow's game as part of their inspiration for the next movie. That shocked me. So they're really doing some deep research. So I hope we get some real crazy gun. Yeah.
It'd be cool if they bring in the gun robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is surprising. They're like really going. I've heard talks that they're using like Shadow's games as an inspiration. It's like, well, then again, Jeff Fowler was involved with that game too. But I think
That's
the
a good
cutscenes.
point.
I think.
That's a good point. He has personal connection.
Right. So I guess this is Jeff Fowler's like second chance to actually do Shadow justice. It's like, yeah, let's make Shadow who he is and not have like the movie have like 12 different endings like what the game did.
Yeah.
Well, technically one ending and just 10 what-if scenarios, I guess. I suppose you have to look at Shadow the same as Sonic Avenger, where you just kind of have like this weird run shot. Yeah.
I suppose we could also have to think about like who they might cast as to play as Professor Gerald.
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah.
Who's Jim Carrey's grandpa?
I mean, I would probably go for like maybe Alfred Molina, or better, bring in Mike Pollock himself.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Mike Pollock does do the voice of Gerald Robotnik in Sonic X. Yeah.
And he's at the right age for it.
Yeah.
But that would mean we actually get to see Mike Pollock getting executed on screen.
Hope that's not a symbolism of what would happen at like the next game after that.
Well, that's plenty of darkness, I guess. So I guess the stream is over.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Separate darkness, Roger.
See you next time.
Tune in next week. Tune in next 2 weeks where we do the Chris Thorndike show again.
Indeed.